It's Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. With an easy win over Judge Memorial last Friday, the San Juan Broncos moved to 4-1 on the season. They're number 2 in the first release of the Utah 2A RPI standings. Tonight, they've got an opportunity to prove they're number 1. They're in Castledale, where they'll take on top-ranked Emery in the first 2A South Region game of the year. It's the Broncos versus the Spartans. Welcome to Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome live to Emery High School in Castledale, Utah, site of the Friday Night Lights matchup this week here on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. Rhett Sifford and Art Adair welcoming you in. And Art, this is going to be a fun one tonight. After a couple blowout wins for San Juan, they might get a little bit stiffer challenge tonight. This is a team in Emery that hasn't really had a stiff challenge themselves yet this season, even though they've got the 4 wins, the 1 loss, both teams coming in 4-1. Emery technically ranked number 1 in the first issue of the RPI rankings. San Juan is technically number 2. Obviously, we don't put a lot of weight on that. No matter what, this should be a fun one here tonight, a little bit more fun than we've seen the past couple weeks.
Yeah, you can guarantee these kids on both sides of the football understand what's going on here tonight, whether they're ranked 1 or 2. You could switch them both up, but definitely 2 of the top teams in the 2A at this point, both 4-1, like you said, Rhett. And just, last night, yesterday afternoon, they played a C team, the sophomore-freshman game. 40-41 for San Juan. It was a heck of a battle between both teams. I expect to see the same thing here tonight. And wow, that PA announcer just came on and blasted me out. We're up on the roof tonight, and I'm sitting right by this speaker.
Yeah, let's talk about this facility. It's stunningly beautiful. It's sport turf. It's we're way up. I don't know how many feet up in the air. It reminds us of Summit Academy a little, but it's a bit nicer facilities than what Summit Academy has. It's really amazing up here. It's I don't know how else to describe this facility. It's beautiful. It obviously cost a lot of money to put in here. It's really kind of fun, the sight line that we have up here. And so we're actually up on the roof of the booth because there's so much coverage here tonight. They've got hometown radio. They've got hometown TV. So we got relegated to the roof, as sometimes happens in these levels of high school games. And Art, you are directly next to the speaker, which just, I think, exploded your brain all over me. So.
Yeah, when he turned on that music, it's been off, and he turns it on. And it was a great song. I don't think it's a song we hear on Red Rock 92, but great song. But the other thing about this field, not only did it have an awesome field here and just the complex here, but right behind the field, you can spit on that building. If any of our listeners have been to the Hive in Juab, similar to that, just indoor turf, indoor basketball, volleyball courts, just an awesome building, awesome sports facility here. They have sunk a lot of money into the athletic programs here at Emery High School.
And still construction going on around here. Obviously, their basketball stadium or arena is famous. It's kind of like a mini NBA arena, and so everyone knows about that around here. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting. You drive out in the middle of nowhere and find beautiful athletic facilities like this out here.
Yeah, it's unreal. I mean, if this is what you get with no state championships, what could you get with 4 in a row?
You say we need to lobby the school district down in southeastern Utah.
I'm saying it wouldn't hurt.
It wouldn't hurt. Well, let's take a look at Emery as we open the pregame show here tonight on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. And again, just taking a look at Emery and the games that they've won. North St. Pete in the season opener, 34-14. Union 21-20. They barely hung on in that one in the second week. Then they beat Enterprise 38-14 3 weeks ago, I guess. Lost to Manti on the road, 45-7. Manti's kind of a tough team, but then came back into the win column last week with a 49-17 win over Carbon. So this is a team that hasn't been hugely tested yet this year. This will obviously be the biggest test of their season to this point, as it's a battle. We're going to call it a battle between number 1 and number 2 all night long, even though it's just RPI number 1 and number 2. But for Emery, John Famalo is the head coach. He's in his 9th year with a 35-54 record. And we got a chance to chat with him just a couple minutes ago. Here's what he has to say as his team gets set to go tonight against the visiting San Juan Broncos. Coach, thanks for chatting with us. This is obviously our first look at your team this year. Can you tell me about your team, maybe your strengths and some of the weaknesses you're still working on?
I don't know if we have any strengths, honestly. It's just, I mean, our kids play hard. That's about all I can say. We grind it out. We do what we can. So, honestly, I mean, we know we're up against a big challenge tonight, but at the end of the day, I think my kids are going to compete, and that's probably the biggest thing I can say about my team.
How do you approach San Juan here tonight?
Yeah, I think you got to be methodical. I think you got to slow down the game. They like to go fast-paced. They like to get you on your heels and overwhelm you pretty quick. And so for us, it's extended drives, try and keep their offense off the field, and that's probably the key for us. And then don't turn over the ball, because they'll take advantage of that. So
they do go fast, and I hear you say you want to slow them down. What's a method that you might want to use to do that?
Like I say, just long drives. I mean, if we can take a lot of clock to score or get in a position to score, that's the key. I mean, like I say, keeping their offense off by keeping our offense on, I think probably that's key for us.
What are the things, I mean, you guys now have the #1 spot in the RPI. I know you don't put a whole lot of weight on that at this point of the year, but you got a little bit of a target going on. What are the things maybe that you guys have been working on up to this point with your team?
Probably playing at pace. Like you say, they like to go fast. For our kids this week, we got to really get off to that just to make sure, again, we get lined up, we identify quick, and make sure we're ready. I think once you get alignment, then it's about assignment and making plays. And so that's really the keys that we worked on this week, was making sure we got lined up, know our assignments, and get after it.
What's the feeling you get from your boys? You feel like they're excited to go tonight, maybe a little bit of nervous, mix of both?
I think they're excited for the challenge. Like you say, it's been a long time since we've been probably a conversation in football, and so it's nice to be able to be in that discussion, but this is an opportunity to be able to say, okay, hey, yeah, we belong or we don't. And so I think our kids are looking forward to that.
Win or loss, what do you want to see your boys accomplish here tonight?
Like I say, I think we got to make them play 4 quarters. That's probably the biggest thing, and then give ourselves an opportunity to be in the ball game at the end and see what we can do. So for us, that's probably the biggest key is, hey, we want to compete, we want to stay in it, make them play a full game instead of half a game, which they've played a lot of games that way, and then see what we can do.
Coach, we appreciate it. Good luck. Have fun out there tonight, man.
Hey, not a problem. Appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, I want to say thanks to Coach Famalo for chatting with us tonight before the game as we get set to go. Just taking a look at this team, 149 points on the year, so they're averaging almost 30 points per game while allowing 110 on the season for 22-point per game average. By contrast, San Juan has scored 213 points this year, so they're kind of starting to look like they were last year, averaging almost 43 points, or 43 points offensively, and 77 against for 15.5 per game against. And so San Juan looking a lot like they were. San Juan leads this all-time series 20 games to 8. Going back to 1975, they've won all 6 meetings since 2000, since they kind of renewed this matchup. Emery did put a scare into the Broncos in the 2022 semifinal. I know you remember that one. You were a little bit nervous that night, Art. That became kind of a passing shootout. San Juan ended up outlasting them 56-48. Those are good memories. But last year's meeting was a 53-13 blowout for San Juan. So the Broncos are obviously going to try to do that again here tonight. Taking a look at their players, Trevin Gilbert, the senior quarterback, has passed for 1,048 yards this season and 10 touchdowns. He's averaging almost 210 points per game, so that's pretty good in the passing game. But again, he'll get his biggest test against this San Juan defense of the season so far. Jackson Johnson is the leading running back, I should say, 247 yards for him on the season, averaging almost 50 yards a game. He has 2 TDs on the year. Ty Yost, we're going to call his name tonight as well, 167 yards rushing with a TD. Bowden Chrisman is a senior. All 3 of these guys seniors. Might be a name that we mentioned tonight as well. He's averaging almost 75 yards a game. He's got a touchdown as well. In the receivers, Porter Herdsman is the senior, leading the way with 299 yards total this year. So he's averaging almost 60 yards per game receiving and 4 TDs. Hayden Abrams has 218 yards on the season for an average of almost 44 yards per game receiving, and he's got 2 TDs. Defensively, so these are the names I kind of put stars by. The Yost and Braxton Butler are seemingly 2 of the all-stars for this team. They really rely on them on both sides of the ball. Yost leads defensively with 36 tackles. Braxton Butler has 22. And Butler has 4 tackles for loss on the season. Hayden Abrams actually leads in that department with 8 tackles for loss on the year. The Spartans have 6 takeaways on the season, and Ty Yost and Braxton Butler are in that list as well with an interception each. Hayden Abrams has a couple picks, 2 fumble recoveries on the season. Bo Stilson and Blake is it Citrid or Citrid? Citrid has one as well. So that's just kind of a brief look at the team. I know stats don't really tell the whole story, but you can look at stats and kind of see at this point of the year how things go. So they've got a couple kids who do it on both sides of the ball, Art, and San Juan is just going to come out and try to play their game. That's their mantra. They're going to try to shut down the run tonight. They're going to just try to shut down the team as a whole and play their game.
Well, the key for Gilbert, the quarterback for Emery, is going to be patience in the pocket tonight. And he's going to have to be able to stand back there and hopefully absorb some of the heat, and his line's are going to have to give him time to really break down the San Juan secondary, because we've seen throughout the year that that's kind of a weakness is if you give the quarterback too much time, those receivers, they get open in the secondary. Sometimes the secondary coverage isn't there. The zone might open up a little wide. Someone might forget what zone or what coverage they have. And we've seen throughout the season that's kind of been an Achilles heel. So if Gilbert can sit in the pocket and he can digest and react to what the defense gives him, he might find some stuff down the field. He's got, watching him here in warm-ups, he's got a good-looking ball. He throws it hard. And so that might be the key for him for success. Now, you talk about their 4-1 record. 3 of those teams have losing records, and the other one's Carbon. And for anybody who knows about football, Carbon has 3 wins this year, and that's probably all they're going to get. No knock on them, but they're just not a winning program. And their wins come against ALA Grand and Union. And so 4-1 is kind of deceptive. So we don't really know what you're going to get out of Emery. They're not like San Juan. They haven't played a gauntlet of tough games up to this point. And San Juan's played some with Judge that wasn't that tough, and then obviously, Juan Diego quit, at the halftime because of the lightning. But 4-1, that's deceptive. Kind of like talking about stats. But I really look for Emery if they can give their quarterback time tonight, and he can really be able to look downfield, get through his progression, his reads. I think that San Juan's going to really have to do a good job covering, because those receivers are going to get open. We saw some similar offenses that they ran yesterday in that game at home against the C team, and they like to throw the ball. They like to move it down the field. Mm-hmm. They run the same similar style offense that San Juan does, and so pressure on the quarterbacks can be key for San Juan when we get to them. But, yeah, if he can get time in the pocket, I think he could do some damage. Secondary has been kind of iffy in some of the games we've called this year.
Yeah, and another way I think maybe to beat that is quick patterns, quick 10-yard pop, 15-yard pop here and there. And that's a way you can defeat that situation if you're not getting a whole lot of protection. But it comes down to the line. Like we've said, each game in and game out, it comes down to the line. If your guys are not protecting the quarterback, not giving him time, you're not going to have success on offense if they're not opening up those running lanes. And we saw that, last week with San Juan. The Bronco line the offensive line was just opening up huge holes for the San Juan ball carriers and giving Jayton Knight all day long to pass. And that's huge. That's how you win and lose games right there. It all happens right on the line.
But you talked about 2 of the keys, too, here, Yost and Butler. Butler's a stud. That kid's a gamer. He gets after it, both sides of the football. They've got to keep an eye on him and Yost. They can't let them get out into space and make movements and get open. They've really got to lock them down. So look for them to be the targets tonight. That Butler kid, he is a senior, and he can do some damage if they don't keep him in check.
Yeah, I have a feeling we're going to call those 2 guys' names all night long, along with Gilbert. Well, the shadows are creeping across this beautiful field here at Emery High School in Castledale. We're going to take a break on the pregame show and return, talk about the San Juan Broncos when we come back. Stay with us. It is Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Since 2009, Blue Mountain Hospital has set the standard for rural health care, bringing excellence in healing, quality care, and inspired staff to San Juan County. We offer the county's only accredited sleep center, compassionate labor and delivery, top-tier emergency care, and flexible dialysis options. At BMH, our comprehensive services are delivered by a passionate team. Visit bmhutah.org to learn more. We can't wait to meet you.
With a changing economy and advancing technology, it's time that marketing and selling of real estate in San Juan County catches up. Four Corners Homes and Property Management is changing the game. Every Four Corners Homes listing includes 3D mapping and virtual tours, professional photos, a digital and global 21st century footprint, and marketing exposure that makes it easy for buyers to find and identify what makes your listing unique. Marketing and exposure sells real estate, and if you want the best, you need Four Corners Homes on your team. Find us at fourcornershomes.net or call 801-404-0058.
Hello, my name is David Palmer, and I am the Parks and Recreation Director for the City of Blanding.
Hi, my name is Sylvia Stubbs. As a recently elected San Juan County Commissioner,
We are so excited to collaborate with SJC-PAC Coalition and San Juan Counseling to bring parents-empowered messaging to our beautiful Wellness Center pool area.
Parents Empowered is a Utah campaign designed to help parents understand the power they have in reducing the risk of underage drinking.
Survey data tells us that youth perception of risk in San Juan County in all grades went from 83.6% in 2019 to 68.3% in 2021. This means our kids don't understand the damage that alcohol and other drugs can cause on their developing brains.
Did you know that Utah teens reported that parental disapproval is the #1 reason they choose not to drink?
Never assume your children know what your rules, expectations, and attitudes are. Write them down and discuss them with your kids so they understand the reasons behind them.
Bonding is essential to preventing underage drinking. Children are less likely to drink when the parents are involved in their lives and when children and the parents feel close to one another.
Together, we can help build a stronger San Juan County.
Let's do this!
Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're back on. My fault. Welcome back to Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. It's Friday Night Lights. We'll do this again. And we welcome you back into the pregame show. It's Rhett Sifford and Art Adair with you here tonight, as we have been all year. And just taking a look at this matchup tonight between the San Juan Broncos and Emery Spartans, #1 versus #2. Emery is #1 in the first RPI of the season, San Juan #2. As we switch gears now and take a look at the visiting team tonight, it's kind of rare, Art, that we have back-to-back home games, so we're back on the road again. And the Broncos are coached by Barkley Christensen. I think I've been pretty lax in mentioning this year. He's in his 8th season, 67-20 record for Barkley over the years. I mean, that is just pretty impressive. And that is just beside the fact that the Broncos have won 3 straight state championships and are vying for their 4th this year. Not only that, you know, they're not going to be playing at the end of the year to set a new Utah State winning streak record, but they have won 41 of their last 42 games going back to the start of the 2020 season. So pretty impressive run for San Juan, and they look to continue it here tonight in Emery. We did get a chance to chat with San Juan head coach Barkley Christensen just a little bit ago. Here's what he has to say as his team gets set to go tonight against Emery.
Coach, through the midpoint of the season now, headed down the home stretch, if you will. Tell me about your team at this point, your observations, where you guys are as far as where you want to be at the end of the year.
Yeah, I've been pretty excited about how we've been playing the last, 4 weeks. Obviously, week 1, we learned a lot, and then we've just got better, I feel like, every week since. I know I've told you this a bunch. I love the effort these kids bring. They don't take a Friday night for granted. I feel like we've cleaned up a lot of the mistakes, and, hopefully we just continue to get better. We're pretty optimistic about how the season's been so far.
Yeah, I think maybe one of the main things I've seen from you guys lately is just the business-like attitude, just taking care of business, game in and game out, not getting overhyped, not getting too cocky. Is that what you feel from them coming in here today?
Yeah, I think but that's going to continue to be a challenge as we keep winning football games. But at the same time, I hope they don't ever get too wrapped up in the business side of it. I want them to keep having fun. I think that's what, it's such a good class because they've always had fun with football. They've had to learn how to buckle down a little bit more and get a little bit more serious and take that varsity step in the maturity process of kind of a business-like thinking, but I still want them to fly around and just have fun.
Well, it's a team game, we know that, but tell me maybe some of the performances you've seen lately that have really impressed you from your guys.
I've loved what our offensive line has done. Trey Bradford, a sophomore, stepping in there, and then the upperclassmen. I'm very proud. That was a big question mark coming into the season after losing such a good offensive line last year. Jayton's one that, after week one, he's really buckled down, kind of like what Jace Palmer did his senior year after a bad week one. He settled in. Running backs, Jagger and JD have been awesome. I mean, everybody's kind of been a question mark, even our receivers, Owen Adams, Brent Bethea, and then Jake and Javen we obviously knew a little bit about. But offensively, a lot of question marks, and I feel like they've all stepped up, and they're all getting better every week, and then our defense has just been phenomenal. If I'm ever needing a little bit of therapy, I can just turn on our defense and just watch them fly to the ball, and I can get happy in any situation because it's fun to watch.
Well, the RPI doesn't mean a whole lot when it first comes out. It doesn't really mean a whole lot ultimately, even at the end of the year. But I know this is a game where you can prove technically that you're number one, if you will. How do you approach this one with Emery tonight?
I'm kind of glad it came out that way because it's, I always like baiting these kids into a little bit of take this personal. A little bit of motivation. We used it as locker room material. They're not happy about it. I mean, at the end of the day, we could have controlled that. We could have beat Grantsville, right? But I was glad it shook out this way because we control our own destiny tonight, and it was a good motivator for the week.
What kind of attack do you expect from them here?
They run a very similar offense to us. A lot of teams are kind of moving that way, like Judge last week. They want to throw to the receivers on the perimeter and get vertical. A lot of the same run schemes. I don't necessarily not super worried about anything, but it's very similar to what we do.
I think I know the answer to this question already, but I mean, is there anybody you're gearing on to stop for them, or are you just going to come out here and try to play your game tonight?
Yeah, we're just going to play our game. There's nobody that we've had circle. I mean, they've got some good players like every team, but nobody we're really keen on to stop. We just gotta, it's always been about us, and we just got to keep that mentality and just keep flying to the ball, and good things will happen. Stop the run. That's all we got to do.
It's the mantra.
That's the mantra.
Coach, thanks for chatting with us before all these games. Appreciate you taking the time, man. Good luck tonight. Have fun.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Want to say thanks to Coach Christensen for chatting with us. Indeed, before all these games, taking time out of his schedule and game prep to chat with us. And a lot of good insight there, and just taking a look at his team and just kind of reflecting as we're past the midpoint of the season now and winding down to the last few minutes of warm-up here tonight. But, Art, just want to take a look at some of these performances that we mentioned. And Jayton Knight, the quarterback, obviously a tough game in the season opener, but since then he's really coming to his own. He is completing almost 65% of his passes so far, 1,225 yards on the season. That's 245 yards exactly per game, and 13 touchdown passes on the year. He's really honed it in as well, hasn't thrown any interceptions these past couple games. In the running game, J.D. Palmer leading the way with 280 yards, so he's averaging 56 yards per game and 4 touchdowns for the Broncos. Jagger Neves, the other man in the running department, 258 yards total for him, which is an average of almost 52 per game, and he leads the team with 5 rushing touchdowns. But the quarterback, Jayton Knight, right in the mix as well. He's averaging almost 43 yards per game of carrying the football, and he has 4 rushing touchdowns. Of course, most of those are coming in from inside the 2 or 3 yard line, but hey, you got to give the kid credit. Branton Bethea is the leading receiver, averaging 71 yards per game, 355 total on the year with 4 TDs. Owen Adams is really having a good season, 241 yards catching for him for 48 yards per game and 3 touchdowns. Jake Ivins has really been awesome to have back after suffering the early season injury. He's averaging, only because he's played just the 4 games, he's got a higher average actually, almost 54 yards per game for him, but 214 total and 1 TD. Out of the backfield, Jagger Neves, 204 yards receiving, almost 41 per game, and 3 receiving touchdowns now. And you got to mention Javen Montella as well. He has 167 yards in his 5 games, so that's an average of 33 per game, and 2 TDs for San Juan. Defensively, what else can you say about J.D. Power and Associates? J.D. Palmer has 49 tackles, 5 of those for loss. Jagger Neves, 43 tackles. Those 2 guys lead the way to be sure, but there's a lot of other guys helping out. Jake Ivins has 29 tackles. Trip Palmer, 28. Branton Bethea, 26. And you go on down the list. But tackles for loss for San Juan, and this has been a big deal lately. They've just been getting in the backfield with ease and stopping teams for loss. George McNaughton leads in that department, and, of course, he's had a good last couple games. He has 6 tackles for loss. Like I mentioned, J.D. Palmer has 5. Jagger Neves and Cash Palmer have 4 tackles for loss between the 2 of those each. And San Juan has 12 takeaways on the season. I'm not going to go down the whole list there, but Trip Palmer's leading the way with 3 interceptions. A couple of those are pick sixes on the year. So the Broncos are getting it done both offensively and defensively, of course, and that's what you got to have from your team in order to build a successful season is you got to have offense and defense going every night.
Yeah, and Jayton was our player of the game last week, and I want to spotlight a lineman this week, someone that I think we don't talk a lot about. He plays offense, he plays defense, he plays the nose tackle, plays the center, and that's big number 66, Cutler Baker. And if you watch his footwork out there on the field and how he gets downfield in blocks, he plays center on the offensive line, so he's that signal caller out there. He's calling out the Mike backer. He's calling out the blitz packages. He's the one that's kind of quarterbacking that offensive line, and he does such a great job at that. He's a senior. He comes from great stock in football. We've talked about Baker kids for a long time. And he's the first Baker on the line, I believe. But he's done such a great job at that center position this year, and also when he's in on defense, he constantly demands the double team. And for running a 3-man front most of the time, you have to have defensive linemen absorb those offensive linemen to give those backers time to read and flow. And so just wanted to shout out to him. I've watched him film on him over the last couple of weeks, watched him live in the games, and just that offensive line, shout out to Cutler Baker in the center position, my offensive lineman spotlight of the week, Rhett.
There you go. All right, that'll do it for the pregame show tonight. We're going to take another quick break. We'll be back out for the opening kickoff here tonight at Emery High School. Stay with us. It's Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Life is a series of cherished moments filled with milestones that define our journey. Moments of love, joy, and shared experiences. Each moment contributes to our story. As each chapter unfolds, our experiences shape us, defining who we are. When it's time to celebrate a life, ensure your loved ones are remembered with the grace, dignity, and individuality they deserve. San Juan Mortuary, celebrating life, honoring memories, transcending tradition.
For over 75 years, San Juan Health has strived to be the best place to receive medical care in southeastern Utah. With clinics in Blanding, Monticello, and Spanish Valley, San Juan Health offers a wide variety of services and world-class care close to home. Visit sanjuanhealth.org today to find out more. San Juan Health, chasing perfection since 1947.
You don't have to be sidelined by sports injuries in San Juan County. Precision Rehab provides physical therapy in Monticello and Blanding, as well as Montezuma Creek and Monument Valley, where our therapists have helped athletes of all ages get back in the game since 1996. Precision Rehab is dedicated to restoring you and your loved ones to peak performance when pain and injury slow you down. We offer innovative, effective treatments that make a difference. Treatment is covered by most insurances, including Medicare. Call 435-678-3869 for an appointment. That's 435-678-3869. Or find out more at PrecisionRehabUtah.com.
Back live to Emery High School in Castledale, the site of our Friday Night Lights matchup tonight on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. Again, Rhett Sifford and Art Adair welcoming you back out here as we are now just moments away from the opening kick here tonight. And Art, kind of rare, San Juan is not going to be receiving to start this game. The Broncos are going to be forced to kick it off after Emery wins the opening coin toss here tonight.
They will definitely not be getting the ball, Cotton. Little dodgeball reference there for those that never seen dodgeball.
All right, so we're going to get a chance, well, theoretically, as long, of course, as Emery can protect the football, we'll get a chance to see this Emery Spartans offense first tonight. And so we'll see how the San Juan special teams does with a little bit of coverage right here to kick us off tonight. The Broncos set to kick it away, 12 minutes on the clock. Beautiful evening here as the sun's completely gone now, and the lights are bright. And we are underway. Emery with a nice return across the 40. And Jayden Knight missing the tackle and now continuing on the return. Still on his feet. Down inside the 10. Loses the football but is finally forced out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. That is a 90-yard return. from number 3, Hayden Abrams. And no flags on the field. So I think we get our special teams answer early on, not the way San Juan wanted to open the ball game.
Well, if you're Emery, that's other than getting the touchdown, that's exactly what you wanted to come out. That's the energy you wanted in your team. Come out, make a statement, first play of the game. Now we'll see whose will is stronger here. Emery get in the end zone, or can San Juan keep him out? And that's a short 9-yard field right there.
Yeah, Coach Christensen talking about that defense and how proud he is of them lately. They're going to be called on immediately in this one as they've got their backs to their own goal line. Emery begins with a 1st and goal, and Jayton Knight, the man who missed a tackle over on the far sideline, gets into the backfield and makes the stop. We do have flags on the field, so we'll wait and see what this means. If it's a hold, it's I would guess San Juan will take it, push him back 10 yards.
Face mask on San Juan, so half the distance.
So that's against the Broncos. So far on the first 2 plays of this ball game, it is not going the way the San Juan Broncos want to see it go. And that'll be a new set of downs. 1st and goal once again for the Emery Spartans.
Just outside the 5-yard line. I would call it the 5.
So the Bronco defense being called on again. Now definitely with their heels touching their goal line. So that run did not count. It would have been for a loss of yardage, but instead it's 1st and goal from the 5 as Gilbert will fake the handoff in the backfield. Throw to the corner of the end zone. It's caught. Touchdown. Hayden Abrams, the man who returned it all the way down to the 10, makes a nice catch in the side of the end zone. And the Emery Spartans lead the San Juan Broncos 6-0. What a start for Emery.
Yeah, fantastic start for Emery. 2 plays outside of the penalty and both positive. And don't tell them they're not ranked number 1.
Yeah, that's right. And so immediately, if the Broncos thought it was going to be easy here tonight, they have got another thing coming. And I know we got a long way to go, so plenty of time left in this game. But, boy, an immediate touchdown for the Emery Spartans, and they lead 7-0 after the PAT, which is good, obviously. And so now, boy, the Broncos, we've barely even got underway, and San Juan finds themselves in a situation they haven't really seen lately, especially down 7-0.
Yeah, in your interview with Emery's coach, he came out and he said, we don't really have any what was the quote?
Any strengths.
Any strengths, yeah. And I think sometimes as coaches that come up against teams that are considered powerhouses, you kind of play that off with, we don't got much out there, when you really think you do.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously he knows the strengths of his team, and right there you showed on that first drive. Now, that's the momentum aspect of football. Emery has it. How does San Juan answer that?
Yeah, my dad's got a method, and a lot of times it works out. When a team opens the scoring, if they don't score again before the other team scores, many times that team that does not score back-to-back ends up losing. So we'll see. So now the Emery defense, Emery special teams and defense will go to work as the Broncos go to return this kick. And it's Jagger Neves down the sideline. He has some blockers, and he's going to go as he's out ahead of everybody. No flags on the field, and it's another 90-yard kick return and a touchdown for San Juan.
There's no better answer than that right there. There's no question. You get scored on in 2 plays, so you go score on them on 1 play, and now it's back and forth. It's just blow after blow here.
Is it going to be back-to-back kickoff returns and 90 to 90 by the time we're done with this one tonight?
I don't know, but obviously
special teams are struggling, bro. Special teams are struggling.
The head coaches of both these teams are talking to their special teams coordinators right now, saying, "Listen,
stay in your lanes, man.
Stay
down. In your lanes." Holy cow! Those are 2 huge returns. Emery didn't get in the end zone, but the Broncos do on their first kick return for touchdown. I think they had a punt return for touchdown against Grantsville, but this is the first kick return for touchdown.
They say everything's faster on turf, and obviously these 2 first kickoffs have been pretty quick.
Impressive. Oh, it's a low kick on the PAT, but it slides through from Trip Palmer, and so we're all knotted at 7 here. And we're 41 seconds into the game, ladies and gentlemen. 7-7, and maybe now things can settle down just a little bit.
As 1 offensive play.
Yes,
2 with a penalty.
Yeah, 2 with the penalty. But, yeah, boy, I didn't even have to mark anything down here for San Juan's offense. My goodness. So maybe now the game will begin. We got a little bit of a reset here. I don't think I expected that at all, Art, to begin this game.
No, but if you're San Juan, you got to be happy. You're not happy with how you started the game right there.
Yeah.
And like I said, we haven't even got a minute yet in this game, and it's already 7-7. But you're happy with how your special teams reacted to that. And I've noticed that with San Juan throughout the 3 or 4 years I've been covering with you, Rhett, is they don't let that kind of stuff, get them down. They run it back big, they score, they go out and they're like, hey, you can do it in 2, we'll do it in 1. And, man, this, we want a good game here. You want San Juan starters need 4 quarters. You want to win the game, of course, but you want to battle. You want to go out and see what you're made of right now, middle of the season.
Jayton Knight kicking this ball from the right hash. Wants to kick him over to the corner. This time the Broncos get good coverage over there, and the return's is a measly return out across the 30 where Emery will start offensively. So now maybe we'll see a couple honest offensive possessions here as Trevin Gilbert, the senior, will bring his team out, starting at their own 31 officially.
Yeah, let's see how San Juan's secondary reacts here. Let's see how the defense goes. You're not buried against your goal line at the 5 now. So now you have some flexibility to work here. So we'll see what Coach Barron has drawn up to really shake up this passing game, because like we talked about the pregame, that defensive backs have been a little suspect throughout some games, and we saw that on a touchdown.
Well, they bring it out in the spread as we expected. These are 2 similar offenses design-wise. And Gilbert working with a hard count. Now he gets the snap. It was low. He's going to have to run to the right side. Flags fly as he completes the pass over there. And it looks like
you can have a holding. Jayton Knight was in there from his D-end position, and the lineman could do nothing but just grab him from back to keep him from sacking his quarterback. And at the end of the day, you're trying to help your quarterback out. You're going to take that call 9 times out of 10. Well, I don't like it as a coach, but you're going to take it.
Not being down there on the field, I can't tell you this for certain, but Jayton Knight missed a tackle right there on that opening return, right about the 50. He was the last guy there being the kicker, and I think he's a little upset at himself. He's played with some fire on defense here on the first 2 plays offensively for Emery. And the Spartans back 10 yards on the hole, find themselves with the 1st and 20 on their own 21. Gilbert will hand off. They go to the ground, and trying to break through there was number 22, Jackson Johnson. He's going to get 8 of those yards back off right guard.
And luckily for them, Branton Bethane and Cash Palmer both there to stop his, because he had some momentum. He hit that hole hard, and he got those first 3 yards, and then he was off to the races.
I thought we were going to see another big run.
Luckily for them, Bethea and Palmer are there to shut him down.
So 2nd down and 12. So basically, after the penalty, the Broncos get a net 2 yards defensively there, and Emery facing a 2nd down and not too long. Trevin Gilbert, senior quarterback, working from the shotgun. They'll go right back to the ground, this time into the backfield. For San Juan, making the stop is number 56, Cash Palmer.
We just mentioned his name, and he's a force, man. He plays that nose tackle position to a T. He is quick. He's agile. He finds those gaps. He gets off the block, and he just does a tremendous job on the D-line.
And it'll be a 3rd down and 14 for the Emery Spartans now as the Bronco defense looking to get a big play here on 3rd down and force the punt. Emery has the ball at their own 28-yard line. Not tough to see the markings on the field at this place, this beautiful sport turf facility. As Emery sends a man in motion, Gilbert working from the shotgun. Rolls to his right. He's going to be tracked down over there. Flags fly as he throws a dead duck. It's going to be incomplete over on the far side, holding against Emery. My guess is the Broncos will decline this here, forcing the 4th down.
You would think so, because then they're 4th and 13.
And that's the first incompletion. That's technically only the 2nd pass attempt. The first was the touchdown. They will decline the penalty. And so Trevin Gilbert's pass incomplete now officially.
Branton Bethea goes back to field this punt. Let's see if the punt return is just as fast as the kick return.
I tell you, the blocking was there, and so that's a big key even on special teams. And so Emery, San Juan gets a big defensive stop here, 9:29 to go in the opening quarter. Already 7-7 in this one. The punt is high.
Beautiful punt.
And coming down, it's going to take a San Juan bounce back into Emery territory where it's finally downed there. And it'll be San Juan ball at the Spartan 48. So a nice bounce for San Juan on the punt. from Deacon Mangum. It doesn't bounce his way, and the Broncos will have decent field position on their second, I guess technically their first possession of the night.
It was a beautiful punt as far as height goes. Now, if it bounces into San Juan territory, that's exactly what you want because your gunners are down there ready to hit him. He's not going to field that ball, but just takes a bad bounce for Emery.
So the Broncos on first down will throw to the near side, a little too high for Jake Ivins. Not what we usually have gotten used to seeing from Jayton Knight there.
Yeah, Jake's definitely not 6'2". So you got to bring that down a little bit.
So back-to-back incompletions from each team here, and San Juan faces a second down and 10. And Knight will roll to his left with the option. He'll try to take it himself. He's going to rumble ahead for 3 yards. Not much more than that. He's down to the Emery 45.
Yeah, just trying to pick his way through there. And Emery's D-line, linebackers did a great job of just shutting down that run lane, not giving him anywhere to peek through.
Third down and 7, and a throw over the right side is complete to Branton Bethea. He's going to come up a couple yards short of the first down. It'll be 4th down and 2. That was a pickup of 5.
San Juan, no doubt, goes quick here, trying to get Emery on their heels on this 4th down.
So the Broncos line, now they go with a hard count, trying to get him to jump, but Emery a good job discipline-wise. Clock is rolling under 8.5 to go in the first quarter, 7-all here at Emery. And Jayton Knight is going to be tackled for a loss in the backfield as he faked that ball to Jagger Neves, and then they hit him hard right in the face, and a turnover on down. So both special teams do some major damage, eventually resulting in points for both teams, and both defenses do some major damage on the first true offensive possessions for both teams, and Emery will take over at their own 43. So a loss of a couple on that play for Jayton Knight. And here's Gilbert again for Emery. Quick turn of events here. Both these teams not really possessing very long. And for Coach Famalo, a good job for his team slowing down the San Juan offense like he said they needed to do. 2-yard run here for, I think, was that Jackson Johnson carrying, or was that Yost? I didn't see the number on the ball carrier that time. We got the speaker right next to us, so I'm not sure how I didn't hear that. Who's in the backfield right now? Is it Yost? I'll have to take a look. I think it may be Yost. It would have been his first touch if that's the case. Jackson, it is Yost.
Yep.
And he will not get the ball. This is an end around here, and what a beautiful open field tackle. I think that's Trip Palmer over there, the only man that tall on the field. A nice job to track down that running back and stop him from behind. That was Hayden Abrams on the, I'm going to have to call that a pass, I think.
Yeah, Trip did a great job flying up there, covering that flat and getting in there behind those blocks, and unable to get that, so the Emery's unable to get going on that run. But, man, it's just a battle of the trenches right now. Emery is doing just enough to get a little bit of positivity.
And it is 3rd down and 9, so another big 3rd down. This may be 4-down territory for Famalo's team.
But get movement on the right tackle.
So this should be a false start on Emery. Of course, both teams are pointing at each other. It's a big call either way. If it's going to be a false start on the Spartans, so that'll back him up on the big 3rd down penalty here against the home team.
Yeah, that right tackle knew he moved early, too. He tried to pass it off as, hey, he was in the neutral zone, and I jumped to get him, but ref saw it just like I saw it. No defender moved, and he just a little antsy to get on that 3rd down.
To his credit, every San Juan lineman was in the neutral zone, but he moved first. So 3rd down, and I'm going to say 14, maybe 15 to go, as the Spartans send a man in motion to the near side, so now Trips to the left. And Gilbert will drop back. He's pressured and throws, I believe, complete. No, it's going to be incomplete on the far side. Boy, he was really pressured on a backside blitz there. And that was number 42, Stetson Black, bearing down on him hard, forcing that errant pass.
Yeah, Stetson was just a half a step away from getting there and making a sack. But you get that as quarterback pressure goes in the stats as well.
And we'll see. Yep, Emery's going to line up to punt here with 6:50 to go. Clock has stopped following the incompletion. Punter's back at his own 27, and he'll get a good one away again. And this one is possibly going to be returned as Branton Bethea makes the catch. No return. He's tried to get around those defenders, but is stopped. And 0 yards on that return, and the Broncos will start at their own 28.
A good thing he's got sure hands because, man, that's a scary position to be in. those defenders were within 2 yards of him as he fields that ball. As a coach, I would feel more comfortable fair catching that thing or just, getting away from it.
Well, we'll see the Bronco offense again. Both offenses have been unsuccessful here. Emery twice, San Juan once. There's a pass complete to Javen Montella. Good little play, is going to go for about 10 yards. Oh, but there is a flag, excuse me.
Yeah, I think it's going to be on San Juan.
So it's going to go for 10 yards, just not in the San Juan direction.
I think it's going to be probably a block in the back out here on the outside receiver.
Refs are discussing it, and they are going to call
block in the back.
So that's a spot foul, I believe, from where the flag is.
Yes.
But as far as I'm aware, the players don't get stats for that, and the play just gets erased. They'll replay the down.
That's right.
And so it's not going to be a full 10-yard penalty net, but it'll go back. Well, they're going to keep marking it off.
Yeah,
was that a personal
foul?
foul?
Big one, yep.
I guess it was a personal foul, 15-yarder. So it will go back 10 yards. So the Broncos have a 1st and 20 back inside their own 20. Jayton Knight will throw for the first time tonight, and boy, that was close, but he does find his receiver in Jagger Neves over on the far side, complete for 12.
Talk about close.
Woo!
Wow. That almost went through 21's hands right in, and I'm glad. Jagger, sure-handed catcher right there.
So Jagger Neves' first catch goes for 12 yards, and now they go to the near side with a little pitch and catch to Jake Ivins.
Just that little outside wide receiver quick screen, and those up receivers, they just got to do a better job blocking that out.
So that was caught over here on the near side, and Jake Ivins for 5 yards, and now they'll go to the ground. Jagger Neves will rumble ahead. Oh, the ball may have gone down, but I think the Broncos have recovered. And it looks like maybe no gain on that play. So Jagger runs for no gain on his first rush of the ball game.
Yeah, and Emery's defense has done a really good job here at really stifling San Juan's offensive attack. Exactly what their coach talked about. They just got to slow the game down.
It was going to be 4th down. Boy, that's too bad because Owen Adams would have been gone.
Timeout on the defense.
Wow, so Emery called a timeout just in time to save their own bacon as Owen Adams had a little bit of an isolation over on the far side. And if the play had gone as it was, that would have been a touchdown. But that's why you call that timeout.
I like the aggression right now, right there from Coach Christensen, but at the same time, man, if you don't pick up this now, because I think you got to punt it now. If you don't pick this up, you're putting Emery in great field position here.
Yeah, the Broncos have it at their own 34, and it is a 4th down. So San Juan unsuccessful converting 3rd down here and looking to have to punt the ball away. They've been unsuccessful on both of their 3rd downs so far tonight and missed on their first 4th down try as well in their last possession. Clock is stopped with 5:25 to go in the opening quarter. 7-7 here in this one tonight from Emery High School in Castledale. And the first 2 touchdowns, 90-yard kick returns basically. Emery returned it 90 yards and then threw it in from 5 yards out after a penalty. And San Juan's Jagger Neves ran it all the way back to the end zone on their kick return. So we've seen some special teams points tonight.
Gutsy here if he doesn't punt this.
And they're not. They're going to go for it. Jagger Neves will throw over the middle, complete. What a catch by Jagger Neves. And I may have said Jayton Knight is the one who threw the ball. Jagger Neves with the catch. And, boy, you talk about some guts. There it was.
Oh, yeah. And wait for Jagger, the pressure of that throw alone to bring that in tight coverage was just awesome by that young man.
And that was another 12-yard catch for Jagger Neves. Now they'll go to the ground. Jayton Knight dials his own number and carries for a couple yards up to the 48.
Emery's front four just beating San Juan right now to the hole, and there's no lanes for Jayton or Jagger to get in and run. That offensive line has got to do a better job at getting their butt to the hole and sealing those defensive linemen out.
Knight throws into the far flat. Jagger Neves drops the shoulders, puts a hit on, and gets about 4 yards on another catch. So, boy, it's a Jagger Neves show right now.
Well, and typically we see the San Juan offense run these plays, these wide receiver quick outs, quick screens, and they usually have good blocking downfield by their other receivers. Tonight, they're having a hard time containing these Emery Spartans.
And Knight will throw into the flat again, this time the near side, and it's going to be incomplete as Neves couldn't hang on that time. I don't know how much room he'd have had to run, and do we have some laundry on the field? Yeah, so it may not have counted anyway. We'll see what's called. It's going to be a block in the back again on San Juan. So That'll hurt him. This will be, I think that was a third down play, was it not?
Was it holding or blocking the back?
He did this, so I think that's an illegal block, but.
Because they announced holding on the monitor over here. So let's see how far they mark it off here. I think it's going to be a holding. Well, no, that was.
Offensive hold, 10-yard penalty, 3rd and 15.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That doesn't comply with the signal he gave, but that's okay. It's 3rd down and 14 as Jayton Knight throws high, but it's caught by Jagger Neves. He's going to get 9 of the yards back, but the Broncos will face another 4th down here.
And if Coach was willing to go for it down here inside his 40, right on the 50, he's definitely going for this.
That is 4 of Jayton Knight's 6 passes that have gone toward Jagger Neves so far tonight. So they're using him in pretty wide fashion tonight, and they're going to split him out again. Empty set for San Juan. As Jayton Knight by himself on 4th down again. The Broncos are 1 of 2 tonight on 4th. Knight could run. He's going to throw, and it's going to be low and incomplete. So the Broncos will turn the ball over right at midfield. And both offenses have now been stopped on their first 2 possessions.
Yeah, wow, what a defensive battle has broken out here after 2 quick special team scores. Well, 1 score, 1 almost score. It has become a defensive battle, and the defensive coach in me loves this. I love this chess match.
So it'll be the first who can break through here tonight, it looks like. Obviously, yeah, the special teams need a little bit of work on the coverage, but right now the defense is doing well on both sides. 1st and 10 for Emery from midfield. A man in motion for the Spartans. Gilbert will throw over the middle, complete. Now making moves into the open field. Picking up 13 yards is Deacon Mangum, his first catch of the night.
And the little things are hurting San Juan right here. On offense, it's not sustaining the blocks on the line or the receivers. On defense, it's not making tackles. He ran through 2 or 3 guys there that didn't wrap up, didn't make a tackle, that gives him 4 or 5 more yards. San Juan's got to be fundamentally strong here.
1st and 10 for Emery from the San Juan 37 now, but flags fly as the Spartans snap the football.
It's going to be an offsides on the defense. So again, they just got to settle down here and play football how they've been playing for the first 5 weeks. The little things are what win big games.
So 1st down and 5 now after the San Juan penalty. The Broncos have both penalties so far tonight. Well, there's been more penalties, I think, but 2 of them that I can remember for sure. And now Gilbert will throw near side, and that receiver's got some blocking over here, and he's going to go into the end zone. Touchdown. What a block over here on the near side as an Emery Spartan put a San Juan Bronco on the seat of his pants. And that is a, I believe, 32-yard touchdown. And wow, they got the light show here as well on the touchdown. My goodness. They spare no expense here at Emery High School, and it is 13-7 in favor of the Spartans.
Yeah, great blocking downfield is what gets you those big touchdowns, and Emery's been doing that. San Juan has not, and that's why they've struggled.
PAT is through the uprights and good. Make it a 14-7 lead for the hometown Emery Spartans, and the Broncos will have to go back to work down by a touchdown once again in this one. And we will take a quick break and return to Emery High School in Castledale. Again, it's the Spartans 14, the Broncos 7. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Here at Lyle Northern Electric, we take pride in our highly qualified team, dedicated to serving our community. Whether you need commercial, residential, or solar electrical services, our certified experts are ready to meet your needs. We are proud to support our community, especially our youth and high school athletics. Lyle Northern Electric, serving our community since 1957.
Back live to Emery High School in Castledale, Utah. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. And the hometown Emery Spartans leading the visiting San Juan Broncos 14-7. 3:01 left in the opening quarter here tonight. And a nice little drive there from the Spartans. And now here's a return for Jagger Neves again. He ran it 90 yards for a touchdown last time, but this time there's flags on the field as he returns it out across the 42, but it's going to come back. And I didn't see who caught the touchdown for Emery. Was it Ty Yost?
I don't remember.
I would have to see if I can find that out here.
San Juan gets a penalty there on the kick return, so that's going to negate any positivity, and they're going to start inside their own 10-yard line here.
So right now, penalties are hurting the San Juan Broncos more than the Emery Spartans, that's for sure. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to figure out who caught that touchdown at some point. We'll figure it out, but here's J.D. Palmer on his first carry of the ball game and a quick 8 yards for the Broncos. That's pretty much been his MO all year.
And I think if you're San Juan, that's exactly what you need. You need some positive runs. You need hard hitting. You need to wear out that defense.
And they'll go to the ground again. And J.D. Palmer again, but this time as he bounces it to the outside, it's all black jerseys there, and the Spartans will stop him for a loss of 2.
Yeah, big third down here. You're definitely inside your own 20 here. You're not going to want to go to it on fourth down here.
I can see that Coach Famalo did not tip his hand at all to me, and his team definitely has some strengths. As Jayton Knight will roll out to his left, throw as he gets his footing, and a beautiful play caught around the 40, and stepping out of bounds at the 39 is Jake Ivins on a beautiful catch there.
Yeah, great job by Jake. A little underthrown by Jayton, but Jake's able to come back and get that as we're going to get stoppage for, I'm assuming, chain crew.
I think that was a 25-yard catch by Jake Ivins. And we're down to the last 2 minutes of the first quarter, and boy, to move the chains, that really kind of slows down the San Juan offense, which was ready to go. Now Jayton Knight will have an opportunity. Drops back, goes to the air again. Again, Jake Ivins is wide open, and he is hit hard helmet to helmet here right around the 40. And they'll no flags, and they'll see that's a 10. That's about another 20-yard catch for Jake Ivins. So back-to-back big plays to Jake Ivins.
And good for Jake for finding the open field and Jayton for seeing him down the field.
Now Knight will run the option, keeps it himself, and a quick 5 yards as the Bronco offense starts to get in gear.
And if you're San Juan here, you're these kids out here on offense, you got to play with a little, chip on your shoulder now, because this team just put 14 points on you, and you haven't really done much other than special teams, so you've got to just get gritty here.
Down under a minute 20 to go in the opening quarter. San Juan down by a touchdown, but here's Jake Ivins wide open again. He only had one tackle to slip, and he'd have been gone, but he's going to be tackled.
Great vision there by Jayton. He saw the ump in the way. He pulls that pass back, lets Jake get by the official, and throws that complete, or he maybe hits the official in the head.
That's another almost 20-yard pass, and now Jagger Neves up the middle into the end zone from 18 yards out. It's a San Juan touchdown. And Jagger Neves got the kick return touchdown. He gets the running touchdown right here.
Yeah, great offensive series right there for San Juan. I know anytime it ends in a touchdown, you can say, oh, great offensive series, but really the little things they did, the blocking, the finding the space in the zones, and Jayton seeing those open receivers, and then receivers just making big-time catches. Jake Ivins on that play was the MVP of that series right there.
Good offensive drives for both offenses after they were both shut down twice. Very convincing drive after they got it in gear that time for San Juan. Jagger Neves gets his 6th rushing touchdown of the season, and the Broncos have tied it up with the Trip Palmer PAT. 14 all with 1:05 to go in the opening quarter. And Art, I think we've got ourselves the good game we were hoping for tonight.
I don't think we've had a game this season that we've gone, well, outside of Grantsville maybe, that we've gone back and forth like this with the team. So, man, I tell you, this is exactly what you need to show your team where they need to be for that state championship run.
Well, we didn't get to see the light show when the Broncos run it into the end zone. Seems a little biased to me.
No,
here.
I don't think you're going to get that.
As the Broncos get set to kick it off, Jayton Knight likes to kick it off from the hash over here on the near side. Kicks it across the field, trying to pin the return team in the corner, if you will. And it's a low line drive. It's going to take a couple of hops, and they're still working on picking that off the turf. And now it's going to be a good return right up the middle, boy. Almost breaking free was Yost. We said we'd call his name all night. I think he's the man who got the touchdown, and he almost broke another one right there.
And sometimes when it goes bad for the kick return team, you get out of your lanes, you start focusing on the ball and not so much where your responsibility is. And right there is kind of a key indicator. It can go bad for both teams real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, they almost didn't pick it up in time, and then when he got it, man, it was like he came out of a rocket. And
one guy, shoelace tackle right there.
Nearly broke it. 1st and 10 for Emery from the 34. 58 seconds to go in the first quarter tonight from Emery High School. Good game here. And Gilbert will work from the shotgun. They set up the screen. It's to Yost, but right there to make the open field stop is number 53 for San Juan 52, Cooper Palmer. Thank you, Art. Flags are on the field, I think, after the whistle. But a good stop. Wait, he really stayed at home there to make that stop on the screen.
Yeah, way not to bite on the screen is big Cooper Palmer. But, man, if this is against San Juan, what a killer, because that was a great play.
So the pass was complete to Yost. They really had the screen set up, but, man, San Juan, a great job to stay at home. And we'll see what the refs call here. They're discussing it. It's going to be a hold on San Juan.
Hold on the defense, yep.
So that will erase what was a good defensive play.
And I think that's the third penalty on Jake on this side. This official, I don't know if he said, if they've lost money to him in a bet or, but this official has called him now for 2 blocking the backs and now a holding. So if I'm the coach, I'm like, I move Jake to their sideline. I move him. I know you don't really want to because you run a scheme, but, man, this official has got number 3 dialed in for penalties.
Well, it's a new set of downs. Coach Christensen is talking to the officials over there on the far side. I don't think he made any headway, but it'll be 1st and 10 for Emery. And the ball is up to the 44-yard line now on the Spartan side of midfield. Clock is running. We're down to 45 seconds to go in the first quarter. And it's 14-all here tonight from Emery High School. Gilbert from the shotgun throws to the flat, complete. Little shuck and jive over here and a nice big solid hit by J.D. Power and Associates on the sideline. And he made Hayden Abrams pay for getting a couple extra yards on that play.
Yeah, and the local hometown crowd here wants a late hit out of bounds. And it was close. It was close, and that's one thing you can't, in a tight game like this, you can't let your emotions take over. You got to play physical football, but sound football. And right there, you got to learn, hey, he's going out of bounds, give him a little push, but don't take it too far out of bounds.
2nd down and 2 for Emery. They're now across midfield into San Juan territory again. Trevin Gilbert working from the shotgun, the senior quarterback. Will throw to the flat again. They're getting this ball out to the flat pretty easily on San Juan, and that's going to be a pickup of 4. That's all they needed. That'll move the chains.
Yeah, they like going to number 3 right there, and they also they like it when San Juan sits back in that zone, sits back in that 8-9 yard coverage to go to him. So if you're Coach Bobby Bauer and defense coordinator, you got to look and say, hold it. Do we need to play a little more up, a little tighter, a little press coverage on number 3? Because when we sit back, they like to go to him. So maybe bring someone up a little tighter like they are now and contain that.
Here's Yost taking a direct snap here. Little Wildcat formation. Ball is on the field, and the Broncos say they've gotten it. And no signal from the refs yet. No signal from the refs yet.
Yeah, Jagger Neves has the ball. And he's
no
in the end
signal
zone.
From the refs yet.
Definitely,
and the Broncos have returned it. Are they going to say he was down? We need to see the replay here at StreamUtah.Live, I guess. My goodness. As Neves returned it all the way, but here we got a field-level view on the replay, so this should be ideal.
Well, he was on the ground.
He was down, so he is down.
Yep, he was down.
Yeah, he was down.
And if you're San Juan, you're not watching that replay now if you're those kids, and you can't worry about what the refs didn't call. You got to worry about what you can do now on offense.
So 1st and 10 for San Juan as the Broncos force the fumble. As I think Yost got -1 yards and the fumble that time. The Broncos underway on the ground. And right up the middle, J.D. Palmer, a big run up for 7 yards, close to midfield.
Yeah, J.D.'s a punisher in that middle. He runs hard. He runs with a lot of physicality. And I would hate to be a linebacker taking on his full force.
And now we get whistles. That's the end of the first quarter. And I tell you what, it was eventful. Passions are high now here at Emery High School as these two teams duking it out. I think we are seeing the number 1 and 2 teams here now tonight. Emery has definitely shown up well prepared for San Juan. And we'll take a quick break, send it back to the studio. We'll be back out here for the start of the second quarter at Emery High School. 14-all Stay with us. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
At Energy Fuels, creating opportunities and participating in the local community is important to us. Thanks to our dedicated employees, we're safely producing critical materials that support cleaner energy sources and a better planet for future generations. Knowing that the youth of today will make great contributions tomorrow, we're proud to sponsor San Juan High School athletics.
Back live to Emery High School as we're underway in the second quarter. Maybe shouldn't have taken a break. I'm having definitely a tough time catching up stats-wise. My stats are going to be more than unofficial. So that was a pass to somebody.
Jake Ivins.
Ivins caught it for I don't know how many yards there, maybe 12 yards, something like that. Well,
it was second down and what was it?
We'll figure it out. I'm just going to give them 12 yards and call it good. And they've got the ball down inside the Emery 40 now as Knight, little play action in the backfield, throws incomplete this time, intended for Jake Ivins. It'll be second down and 10. That's the first incompletion for Knight here in a little bit. Let's see. He's got 123 yards passing unofficially. He was 10 of 12 just then before he threw that one, so 10 of 13 now. And let's see, the 12-yard catch, we've already got it down. I'm going to have to do some stat adding at halftime, of course. Here's the run-pass option, and Knight spots Jagger Neves, and Neves runs hard down the sideline for plenty of yardage. That'll go for, let's see, 10. That's a 20-yard pass and catch.
That's just a little floater over the top. Jayton draws the defense in with the run and then floats it over the top to Jagger.
So the Broncos on the move. Little fake to J.D. Palmer, and now Knight will take it up the middle himself all the way down to the 6-yard line. It'll be first and goal for San Juan on a 13-yard run from the QB.
And exactly what you're loving what Jayton Knight's doing right now. Exactly what you want to see out of your quarterback in a tight game. You want him to take the game on his shoulders.
And now whistles as the Broncos snap the ball. It'll be an Emery timeout. This will be their second of the half, coming with
the official. He pointed timeout, but he pointed towards Emery, but he pointed the direction of the San Juan offense. You're supposed to point it into the end zone to the defense for the timeout, not at the team directly.
So we're 55 seconds into the second quarter, and that's twice now Emery has called a timely timeout after the Broncos. They try, that's another way to slow down the offense, and the Broncos are just going to go.
Yeah,
you call a timeout if you're not set.
San Juan's clicking right now. Jayton's seeing the field really well. The line has picked up their productivity in the blocking schemes, and the receivers are catching balls now. The one little quick slant across the middle, Jake, that was a lot of traffic there, a lot of congestion. Give that one to him, but man, I tell you, Jayton is really seeing the field right now, and I'll tell you, as a senior quarterback, we've beat that dead horse to death with one loss this year, but I guarantee you that kid wants to go the rest of his career not ever having that feeling again.
Well, the Broncos are trying to take their first lead of this game. They'll hand off up the middle. Jagger Neves still fighting for yardage down to the 3 he goes, so a hard 3 yards.
I think you're actually getting the 2, maybe 2.5. Oh, yeah, right about the 3.
Are you questioning me?
Man, you got good eyes.
That's only his second official carry. They'll go on the ground again, and this time Jagger Neves into the end zone. Touchdown, San Juan. Jagger Neves, third touchdown of the night. The Broncos have 3 touchdowns, and they have their first lead, 20-14.
And anytime you get a turnover, anytime you want to go down and capitalize off that turnover, great work there by the San Juan offense. Great play calling to make them successful there by Coach Christensen.
And just the third carry of the night officially for Jagger Neves as the kick is up and is good from Trip Palmer. So it is a 21-14 lead now for San Juan. 1:17 seconds into the second quarter. And San Juan has their first lead of this ball game. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. Brought to you in part by Bradford Tire tonight at the center of it all at East Center in Blanding. Colleen Kays, author of the 7 Dynamos of Organizational Power. Creative Floors, covering all of San Juan County's carpet and flooring needs. And Crowley Construction, dirts, roads, driveways, and more. For any job, big or small, call Crowley Construction. And the Broncos set to kick it away for the 4th time tonight. As Jayton Knight will work from the far hash mark now. And there's a good kick. That's going to come down inside the 10. Little reverse back there on the return. San Juan staying home nicely in the coverage lanes this time. And they'll get the stop after a return out across the 25 to the 26. And I didn't see who the returner was that time for Emery, but they will start with some honest field position. They're going to spot him at their 27.
Nice tackle there by Wrigley Legilia for the Broncos. Getting down there, breaking down, and a nice two-arm leg tackle to make sure he doesn't get any momentum going upfield. Wrigley does a good job on special teams.
And the Broncos need that here tonight. The special teams coverage hasn't been super amazing from either team. And it'll be Trevin Gilbert working in the shotgun again for his Emery Spartans. And he'll hand off up the middle. Hitting the hole hard was the ball carrier. I think it's Jackson Johnson again.
Number 22.
Yeah, it's his first touch since the first quarter. Couple of 3 yards that time for the senior.
But still, if you're an offensive coordinator and you're getting, almost 3 yards a gain, that's what you want out of your backs.
And they gave him 2 yards officially, so 2nd down and 8. Clock is running down to 10 minutes now to go in the first half. Good game here tonight from Emery High School. It's 21-14 in favor of San Juan, who just took their first lead of the game. So Emery loves to throw it out here and isolate these receivers and beat the Broncos that way, and it's been fairly successful as they throw complete again, and they're going to pick up a first down.
They're really, really good at doing that double stack, and they throw to that back receiver, and that front receiver has blocking responsibilities on that up defensive back, and they've done really good at sealing that guy out and letting that guy get upfield for positive yards. Now that defensive back for San Juan, he needs to get hands on that receiver and drive him into the play so they don't get those.
That's the first catch of the night for Porter Herdsman, the senior for Emery. 7-yard catch makes it 1st and 10 as Emery moves the ball up to their own 38-yard line. And now handing off up the middle. Carrying this time is Jackson Johnson. And again, a 2-yard carry for the senior. Maybe 3 this time, actually. It'll be 2nd down.
A lot of physicality in those trenches right now, Rhett. You can't see it, but watching through the binocs, man, there's a lot of hard hitting, a lot of scrum going down there.
I don't think these teams like each other here tonight.
There's a lot of passion on this field right now.
2nd down. Looks like they ended up giving Johnson 4 yards on that carry. 2nd down and 6. Emery across their own 40 to the 42. 8:45 to go in the first half. 21-14 San Juan. Throw complete into the backfield in the flat. This time San Juan gets to him. And an open field tackle there. It was Jagger Neves and Trip Palmer working together. And a loss of yardage.
Yeah, great open field tackle by Trip. He's got them big old long arms, so he's hard to get out of. But wow, just you can't underestimate. You can't undervalue just great open field tackling by kids this age. They just get out there and sometimes they just blow it. But wow, what a tackle there by Tripp.
It's a big 3rd down for Emery now. 3rd down and 8 for the Spartans. Back at their own 40 with the football. Gilbert, little hard count in the backfield. Little delayed count, trying to get San Juan to jump offside. Now Gilbert has time. Throws near side. Little miscue with the pattern here, I think, and it falls incomplete. Short, intended for Deacon Mangum.
Yeah, I think you're just going to get a quarterback QB hurry there on the stats for Jagger Neves as he's able to just get in there on his blitz, gets his hands up, which throws off the quarterback timing, throws off his progression there, is throwing. And so you're going to get a stat there for Jagger at the end of this game. Just great pressure.
Now it looks like the Spartans are going to line up to punt here on 4th down from their own 40. That's the conservative decision. The Broncos have got to watch out for a fake here. Snap is low but fielded nicely. This punter has gotten 3 nice punts away. Gets another one here. Man falling down, no flags. It's going to be returned by Branton Bethea. Now there is a flag. He does return it across midfield, and Bethea wondering what in the world went on there. But
we're going to have the same ref calling a block in the back. I watched it live here. I saw it. Was there some touching? Yes, but there was not a block. There was no physical. They were just running side by side, and you can't call that. If that's the call, that's going to – I may throw my binoculars off the back of this booth.
Yeah, we're going to look at it on the replay for those checking it out on StreamUtah.Live tonight. And, yeah, it's tough. What can you say? It'll negate a nice return for Branton Bethea across midfield, blocking the back. Oh, he's got it. Did he call 2 of them or just 1? Looks like just 1, I guess. So
yeah, I don't agree with that call. And this guy obviously he's on a mission to get the most block in the back calls in the state of Utah this year. They must give an award at the Zebra Banquet at the end of the year. And I'll stop with that.
Bro, are you a former coach or something? I can tell you've gone toe-to-toe with some of these Zebras. And Coach Christensen is over on the far sideline now going toe-to-toe with that man. And hopefully Barkley will get his money's worth over there. It'll be 1st and 10 for San Juan from their own 31.
We have some discussion here on something's being discussed because now the white hat's in position.
Is it possible the ref could call himself for a delay of game penalty over there, talking to the coach?
I just think those are ticky-tack blocking the back calls.
So 1st and 10 for San Juan from their own 31. It negates about 20 yards off the return. And here's Jagger Neves on the first touch. Oh, the ball came out, and look who picks it up. Are you kidding me? Now running inside the 40. That surprised everybody but me. I actually saw it as Cutler Baker. It was almost like a pitch to Cutler Baker. I think the ball bounced off the turf and right into Baker's hands, and he ran it inside the 40.
Yeah, good for that big guy rumbling, stumbling, bumbling. You like to see that, but, man, he was carrying that. Good thing he didn't fumble that as he gets tackled, but good job by Cutler being there and good soft hands.
That was a 15-yard run by Jagger Neves before it went into the hands of Cutler Baker, and now J.D. Palmer gets the handoff, and he'll punch it forward for 4 inside the 35 of Emery.
And that's the second time Jagger's fumbled tonight, so he's got to be holding on to that ball, two-arming it, because they're ripping at that ball.
And now we get whistles as the Broncos, well, it's going to be the third and final time out of the half for the Emery Spartans, so they don't like something they see defensively. And with 7:11 left in this first half, that's how much I weighed when I was born, 7 pounds, 11 ounces, plus 7:11 is just straight lucky.
Fun facts you learn on Friday Night Lights.
I tell you what, man, Cutler Baker's going to have some rushing stats.
Hey, and he was our offensive lineman spotlight, too. He must have heard us talking about him down there.
That's awesome.
Then he goes out and that just doesn't happen.
He's vying for player of the game.
Taking that ball right out of the air. Linemen don't have that good of hands.
That's definitely the first time I've seen that. We're going to get another look at it here on Stream Utah. Look at that. The ball just pops up. They pulled it out. It did not hit the turf. It went right into his hands. He ran it another 20 yards. So Cutler Baker, 20 yards rushing in the game. Impressive. 7:11 to go in the first half. It's a 21-14 lead for San Juan. They're on the move inside the Emery Spartan 35. Jayton Knight from the shotgun pitches to J.D. Palmer, and he hits the sideline with some gusto, and he will bust it for, let's see, that's going to be 14 yards.
Little option right there. Jayton sees what he likes. He gives it up. Little pitch out there on the option, and J.D. capitalized with the first down.
San Juan trying to increase their lead to 2 touchdowns here. Up 21-14, under 7 to go in the first half. They'll get the ball to start the second half as well. Jake Ivins takes that inside shuttle pass and goes 9 yards for San Juan.
Yeah, a little trickeration early here by San Juan, getting the defense to flow one way, coming back the other side with Jake on the little shovel. Picks up almost the first down. I thought he got hit, but he drove forward without touching the ground. He should have been a little closer to the first down.
Yeah, he definitely got 9 yards. They marked him with 8. And Jayton Knight throws it in the air, little jump ball into the corner. Good job to get spun around the right way, Owen Adams, but he can't hang on. Pretty good defense right there by the secondary coverage from Emery.
Yeah, and I know that that was good defensive coverage right there. Wish I could see that one again.
Yeah, I think he just came in late with the hand and swatted at the ball once it was there. I didn't see anything dirty there. So third down and 2. Now Jayton Knight dials his own number and runs it down to the 4. It'll be 1st and goal for San Juan. Good run by the quarterback.
Yeah, that little delayed draw right there. He acts like he's going to back up to drop back and then just takes off behind his running back. And now
J.D. Palmer takes the handoff and rumbles in from 4 yards out. Touchdown, San Juan.
Good for J.D. He is a workhorse out there. He goes out and gets a lot of positive yards, a lot of hard yards, and good to see him get in the end zone there.
And I tell you, it got quieter over here on this side of the field. I'm starting to hear myself a lot easier over here as the Broncos have taken a 2-touchdown lead. Trip Palmer for the PAT. It is through. And so San Juan increases the lead to 28-14, doubling up the Spartans now after Emery led 14-7. The Broncos have scored 3 unanswered TDs and lead it by 2 touchdowns.
And sometimes in these kind of games, they're high emotion, high energy. You just have to outlast the other team and start just making moves and making your offense go to work for you. And that's what we've seen out of San Juan. That first couple of drives, they were not getting to the blocks. The receivers weren't blocking out on the edges. They just weren't doing San Juan things. They weren't being as physical as they usually are. And what we've seen these last couple of drives is that physicality and the assignment football where they're getting to their spots. They're close. They're holding those gaps. They're getting their hips to the play side, so those running backs and those receivers can get off their hip and get upfield and get positive yards. And when you do those little things, this is this kind of success you have. You can move the ball. And plus it helps when you got a center who can pick a ball out of midair and get 20 yards.
That's definitely the coolest play I've seen all year. And now Emery will have a chance to return it out to their own 30. Nice hard hit in there, but boy, still bouncing off tackles is Hayden Abrams. I tell you, San Juan having a tough time in the open field, wrapping up right now. And a good return by Abrams will set the Spartans up at their own 34.
Yeah, Taryn Bayless and Wrigley Legili in on that for the Broncos. But definitely a point of concern after this game's over, no matter what happens. Something that they'll have to take back to the film room in special teams group units and identify situational stuff that, hey, how are we letting them get up the field? How are we letting them get 20, 30, 80 yards on kick returns? We've got to do better at our assignments of getting downfield, breaking down, and holding them at bay.
So here's Trevin Gilbert once again for the Emery Spartans, working in the shotgun. They'll send a man in double motion. And they go back over to the left side for trips left. They're going to try to set up a crazy screen over there. Yeah, it was going to be a little inside dump, and it's actually sails over the head of the intended receiver, incomplete.
Yeah, great coverage there by Jake Ivins. He's right on that receiver's hip, so ready to rip that ball if it comes out. And he actually gets his left hand out there. And if he'd have been about 2 inches taller, he may even tip that ball out of there. But great coverage by Jake. He is so tough out there at outside backer.
Makes it 2nd down and 10 for Emery from their own 34. Gilbert in the shotgun, looking calm back there against this San Juan defense. They'll send Yost in motion, hand to him, and what coverage. Busted into the backfield is who else but J.D. Power and Associates makes the stop for 2-yard loss.
Yeah, J.D., the offensive player tried to block him, but all he did was get in his way, and it was like a tift of wind because J.D. just, boom, right to the hole. Didn't even feel the offensive player touch him.
3rd down and 12. Back at the Emery 32 now. So a big 3rd down. Emery trying to avoid being stopped here 3 times in a row after they led 14-7 in this game, now down 28-14. 5:20 to go in the first half. Spartans, or Gilbert I should say, throws over the left side, and San Juan fortunate that wasn't caught. The defender did not notice or did not locate the ball, and a nice pass over there goes right through the hands of Ty Yost and falls incomplete.
Well, he heard him. He heard his coaches yelling ball, and he looked back to locate that ball, and that is for San Juan number 20. That's Brody Bilbo. And, yeah, he looked for the ball to get it out of there. Nice thrown ball, but just good tight coverage wins that battle.
And the punt from Emery now. So they've had to punt 3 times in a row. And guess what? Flags fly as Branton Bethea returns it. Another flag comes in. I'm just going to stop calling punt returns because they're all going to come back with this crew out here.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're seeing from the field level that we're not seeing up here because,
I mean, the punt returners should just down it at this point.
Because that was definitely a good block that the flag was thrown on. Unless they're going to call a hold on. See, they're going to call it on San Juan, but there was definitely no, if we back up the replay for those on the booth, it actually looks like the Emery defender or punt team gets underneath his shoulder, so I would call that a holding versus anything else.
Well, at any rate, it's going to come back to it's going to keep coming back as they mark it from the first flag, which will be the penalty taken, and it'll go back to the 32. San Juan just got to not let it bother them, just got to go back to work on offense, and now with a little bit of extra field to work with. As Jayton Knight brings them to the line of scrimmage, working from the shotgun. Is that J.D. Palmer back there? 2 receivers on either side. A quick throw from Jayton Knight. connects with Jake Ivins, and he'll rumble ahead for 8 before he's forced out of bounds at the 40.
Yeah, and you're exactly right, Rhett, and I've said that before. You just got to go back to playing football. You got to let what the refs do go, and you just got to go get it.
Ivins' 7th catch of the night, and again, I'm having a tough time tallying the yardage at this point. That's going to be a halftime project, I think, is Jagger Neves. Did he go on the ground, or was that a catch?
Run.
So a run off the right tackle, and he picks up 7 quick yards, moves the chains for San Juan again.
And these students down here bouncing.
I think they're going
bounce us off.
Rumble us off the top of the booth here. That's a little bit scary. As Jayton Knight will air one out right side.
PI!
And that's going to be a pass interference for sure, as the intended receiver for San Juan on the far side was tackled. So finally, Emery's going to get a big penalty called against him. As that was actually number 22. We've called his name all night, Jackson Johnson, who's their running back.
And San Juan running back to the ball. Coach Christian's over there imploring them, get on the ball as soon as it's set. We want to go quick. We want to go fast. Don't be dilly-daddling over here. Get on the ball. So as soon as they get it set, watch San Juan get up on that ball. Watch them already have that play ready to go.
That'll move it down inside the Emery 40, down to the 38. So 1st and 10 for San Juan. 4.5 minutes to go in the first half. The Broncos up by 2 touchdowns, 28-14. Looking to add to it here. Jayton Knight from the shotgun. Hands off to Jagger Neves this time, and he'll cut it up. And inside the 20, inside the 10, touchdown, San Juan.
And no
it's
flags.
A 38-yard touchdown run for Jagger Neves.
Oh, and number 3 is down, holding his knee down here for Emery. Nope, he looks like he's cramping big time. But, yeah, what a run there. And I thought for sure we were going to get a penalty over here just the way that this ref has thrown the flags all night. I thought for sure as we come around this end that he was going to call a block in the back or something, just the way that the body language was of the 2 players engaged with San Juan and the Emery player. But great run there by Jagger. And like I said, going fast.
Wow, 3rd touchdown. Yeah, going fast is really the way the Broncos get such success.
And my stats, you know, I'm like you. I miss a lot of stuff, but I have right now 3 penalties for Emery, 8 for San Juan. So definitely San Juan being penalized a little more than Emery here.
Well, that is a 3rd rushing touchdown for Jagger Neves tonight. So his 8th on the season. Did they – yeah, what was the –
I just wanted to check on that player.
Official timeout. And so the Broncos – we're headed to the sideline. Now they've got to quickly come back out on field.
Yeah, he's 20 yards off the field, the injured player.
So Trip Palmer on to attempt an extra point. Try to make this a 3-touchdown lead. And the kick is low but good. And so he's 5 for 5 now. Is my math off? 6 for 6, excuse me. And that makes it 35-14 for San Juan.
Yeah, 5 for 5.
5 for 5. See, this is that Ball State math I told you about.
Well, it's a good thing I'm writing it down, or I'd just believe you because you're smarter than I am.
35-14 after the Broncos were down 14-7, and now still 4:25 to go in this first half of play. And the Broncos will be receiving the ball to start the second half as well. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live is brought to you in part by Dependable Auto Repair. Brad Stoddard and his crew get the job done. Also, Flights Gymnastics, a proud supporter of local sports and a great start for your kids. And the kick is in the air from Jayton Knight. This was going to land at the 20, and boy, the kid stepped away, and now it'll be returned, and I'll be surprised if we don't see a horse collar. Yep, that's going to be a horse collar. So another flag on San Juan, and that'll probably be 15 yards.
It was almost like the Emery kid didn't know he had to pick up that ball. Like it's a live ball right there, bud. You got to pick that up.
It worked out for him. It ended up resulting in another San Juan penalty, and I actually saw that one live. So
we'll make that was a good call. What you're saying, right?
I think so. Okay. Accurate call, anyway.
I'm not going to argue with you.
So that's going to be. Thank you. I'd be scared. I'd be scared. I would fear that you may throw me off of this booth. But that's going to be good field position for the Spartans after the penalty. It wasn't going to be a super great return, but it'll push the ball out across the 35 to the 37.
I think this has been the average starting spot for
yeah,
for
you know, and the Bronco defense has been outstanding in the last 3 sets. as Gilbert will work from the shotgun. They haven't allowed a Spartan first down now for the last 3 possessions. And the Broncos pour into the backfield as Emery sets up the screen, and now a flag flies in the Emery backfield, so this could be a late hit on the quarterback. We'll see how it's ruled. This official definitely does not like San Juan, that's for sure. He's called all his penalties against the Broncos tonight, and we have an injured Bronco on the far side of the field as well.
Yep, you got a Bronco down, you've got a late hit, roughing the quarterback, I believe is what they're going to call.
The screen pass was complete. I didn't see who caught the ball, but it went only for 2 yards ultimately, but they're going to tack some time or some yardage on the play. That may be J.D. Is that J.D. Palmer getting up?
No, it's number 20.
20, so that's Bilbo. And let's see who the pass went to. This replay from Stream Utah will help me out. Looks like it is number 23, Porter Herdsman on the catch. So the Broncos are the beneficiaries of a penalty against here, and that's some big yardage out across midfield. Oh, it was number 33? Well, I'm not sure who that is, and I don't have him on there, so I'll just
I think San Juan's been penalized for 130 yards so far.
So it's Braxton Butler, actually, who caught that football. I'm not sure why I don't have him on the list, but because I know he's one of the players I knew we'd talk about tonight. But there's a nice play by J.D. Palmer as he gets into the backfield, stops the running back for a loss. That was Jackson on the Jackson Johnson, on the carry, going 2 yards backwards, courtesy of J.D. Palmer.
Yeah, like I said, when we were talking right there, over 100 yards in penalties so far for the Broncos. You just can't have that.
And second down and 11, it looks like, for Emery as they've got the ball at the San Juan 48. Down to 3.5 to go in the first half. And Gilbert working from the shotgun, throws near side right through the hands of the intended receiver. It bounced high in the air, but nobody was able to get to it. It falls incomplete.
Yeah, good job there by La Palmer making that drive-through tackle, keeping his head up so he can't get called for targeting, keeping his head up, leading with his shoulders, and just going straight up her body with that tackle and then popping that ball high in the air. Unfortunately, Jake's not able to get over there and get it in time, but wow, that would have been a pick six for sure.
It brings up a third down and 11 for the Emery Spartans at the San Juan 48. Clock stopped with 3:25 to go in the first half, a 35-14 lead for the San Juan Broncos after they trailed 14-7 in this game. And they go with 2 wide left as Gilbert throws over the middle, and that was nearly intercepted, I thought. Did he catch that? No. Incomplete.
And again, they throw at La Palmer.
I think he thought maybe there should have been an offensive pass interference there, is what he was lobbying with the ref, but it does force a fourth down.
He was kind of flexing a little bit, and you got to be careful in high school football. They call you for taunting on that stuff. So you don't want to put your team in a bad spot right here, especially on a long third, a long fourth down.
It is 4th and 11, and Emery comes out in the punt formation. They've been punting pretty regularly here, so this will be their 4th punt in a row, and this one is sky high. Going to come down to at the 20, takes an Emery bounce, and that's going to be a beauty. Down to the 10-yard line. So the Broncos are going to start deeper than they have recently, but 3:08 left. It'll be a 1st and 10 for San Juan starting at their own 10.
Getting dark up here in this upper booth.
It is.
Having a hard time seeing my papers.
Yeah, you got to kind of lean over and use those stadium lights out here. And well, we saw the light show celebration like what you see on college fields these days for 1 touchdown tonight, but since then the Broncos have held Emery off the board. San Juan has the ball back once again after stopping the Emery offense 4 times in a row. They trailed early on 14-7. It was really a back and forth affair early on, and now San Juan's kind of taken the lead 35-14. Not kind of, they have. As Jayton Knight throws complete to Owen Adams, they sling him around but don't bring him down. He's still on his feet. And he's coming rumbling down the sideline. What a battle for Owen Adams. He gets all the way out to the 38. That is a 28-yard catch. Ultimately, what an effort by Owen Adams.
Oh, great job at just keeping his feet moving, spinning out of tackles. And if you watched him close, he's double clutching that ball, not letting those defenders rip it out because they're going for the ball and not the tackle.
I have that as his first catch of the night, and it gives San Juan obviously a new set of downs. Jayton Knight has time to throw, throws complete again to Adams, flags in the backfield, but if the play stands, it's a 12-yard catch. That's a terrible spot on the far side. That's really a pretty rough spot on both sides of the field. It should be a first down easily.
It's going to be personal foul, roughing the passer, so we'll add that on to the end of the run. That's going to be a huge gain for San Juan.
Yeah, that was already a 12-yard catch. The refs have that one wrong. I could see that one from here. Oh, and Adams back-to-back catches, 30 yards and 2 receptions. First time they've gone to him tonight, those 2 back-to-backers. And so San Juan's going to move it with the penalty all the way down inside the 40 of Emery to the 37. And still plenty of time. 2:42 to go in the first half. Broncos looking to add to this 35-14 lead.
How about Owen Adams here coming to play right now in this 2:42 left in the second quarter?
Yeah.
2 huge plays by that kid.
Yeah, if you want to take a guess, take a gander at our player of the game tonight, shoot your guess into the YouTube channel, StreamUtah.Live, picture it Palmer as Jayton Knight throws into the end zone. Touchdown, San Juan. What a catch falling down by Javen Montella. And the Broncos have stretched the lead to 41-14. What a catch that was, falling backwards in coverage.
And the defender had his eyes on the ball, had turned around. They were both looking for that. They both went up at the same time, and Javen just goes up, high points it, and able to clutch that thing down. Great ball placement, though, by your quarterback, and Jayton Knight, to put it outside, just outside enough for Javen to go up and get that.
That's the first touchdown pass.
Oh! Doinks it off the right upright.
Can you return that into the end zone for 2 if you catch it in the air? No. Jayton Knight's first touchdown pass of the night is a big 40-yarder, and Javen Montella's first touchdown catch of the night goes for 40 yards. And for Montella, it's his 3rd TD reception of the season. San Juan is really in business now after trailing early 41-14 on the scoreboard with still 2.5 minutes to go in this first half.
Yeah, you call it climbing the ladder, and Javen definitely climbed the ladder on that play, and he climbed it with someone in his face.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just perfect ball placement, perfect get up, because both the defender, Javen, both had the option to go for that ball, and Javen just a little bit taller, a little bit higher on his ladder climb, and is able to secure. That's a hard catch to make. Come and turn around in the zone. All your momentum's going downfield, and able to come and make that catch. That's dang hard.
Kick is underway, and I'll have something to say about it here in a second as the Broncos spin the returner around. But, boy, they've had a tough time bringing these kick returners down. They do finally bring down Hayden Abrams. He's been a tough man to bring down tonight for Emery. But how about the 50-yard pass in the air from Jayton Knight on a dime down there in the back corner of the end zone?
Oh, yeah, that kid's got some incredible arm strength and accuracy. He's thrown some of those throughout this season. They're just amazing passes. But I'm not going to say it's hard to pass that ball, but, man, it's hard to go up when you got a defender right in your face and he's looking that ball straight in the eyes, and you just got to go out battling for him.
Yeah.
But great play by both players.
It's so common when a defender goes up like that for the receiver to be distracted enough that he can't make the catch when the hand's in the way, too. So good play all around for San Juan, and now on the other side of the ball, not a good play here for number 23, Porter Herdsman, as the pass goes right through his hands, incomplete. 2nd down and 10 for Emery. And that is now, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight incompletions for Trevin Gilbert. And that one wasn't his fault.
No, that's on the receiver right there. He should get that stat for sure.
I've always thought that there should be a drop pass. I think there is a drop pass stat, but it still counts against the quarterback. There should be drop passes against receivers. And the quarterback maybe should have a no pass attempt. I don't know. They'll go on the ground this time, and into the backfield come the San Juan Broncos, and they tackle Ty Yost for a 3-yard loss.
Yeah, you got Jake Ivins back there and Jayton Knight back there making havoc in that backfield as San Juan takes timeout with 2:11 left.
Yeah, and why do they take that timeout? They want to add points here before the end of the half.
Yeah, if you have 10 seconds left in the game and coach thinks he's going to get the ball back, he can take a timeout. It don't matter if you're on his own 15-yard line. He thinks he can get down the field and score that quick. That's having confidence in your team.
Yeah, and the Broncos do have all the momentum now. It was a little touchy early on, but San Juan has wrestled all the momentum away in this game, clearly at this point.
And if you're San Juan, you're looking at this, and I have the Emery's one of 5 so far on third downs. So neither team has done extremely well on third downs. I think San Juan's 50% maybe, but definitely you want to give your offense some time. But we've seen in previous games that all they really need's 15 20 seconds.
Yeah.
So coach could have made it a little hard on himself, let a little time run off where he called that timeout.
Yeah, even that drive took him, I don't know, just a minute, I think. And so a big third down here for Emery. And like you said, Art, they have struggled lately on late downs here and have punted 4 straight times, I believe. And San Juan's looking to force that again here. 3rd down and 13 for the Spartans inside their own 30. And Gilbert surveys the field. Nice little pattern out here. He has a man and finds him. It's complete across midfield, way across midfield, all the way inside the San Juan 40.
Yeah, and just great, like we talked about with Jayton's pass, just a great pass and great catch there by number 23 for the Spartans and able to just pick it up.
That's a 38-yard catch for Porter Herdsman. And Emery in business. That's their first down in a long time other than by penalty. And it puts them at the San Juan 35. Send a man in motion. Now Gilbert will roll out, has pressure, and he's going to be sacked for the first time tonight as Branton Bethea catches up to him from the backside.
Yeah, you had Jayton Knight putting pressure on, makes the quarterback step up into that pocket, and then Branton Bethea's there just to clean up the action.
That's a loss of 9 yards on that play. And that's the first time that Gilbert technically has carried the ball tonight. And it's a sack.
If you're Emery, you're out of timeouts, correct?
That's right.
And so the clock just continues to tick here at 1:19.
Yeah, that's correct. They are feeling the pressure of that now as well. And Gilbert working from the shotgun again with the clock running. Again, San Juan pressuring, but a nice pitch and catch over on the far side. And now, wow, they're still struggling to bring Adams down. Hayden Adams, nice catch. And boy, that's a 10-yard pass, it looks like, and they're going to whistle it down for some reason over there.
Well, there's going to be a timeout, San Juan.
Okay, so the Broncos will call. I guess he doesn't want to take any timeouts into halftime.
It's going to be 3rd down.
It will be
here.
3rd down, yeah, 3rd down and 9. So they pick up the loss of yardage, but face a 3rd down. This is finally, I think, going to be 4-down territory for Emery here, as they've been punting a lot lately, but I think maybe they've avoided that this time. But again, down to just 54 seconds left in the half.
And that play right there, Rhett, that's just the Emery receiver recognizing what San Juan's defense has given him, finding the open space, sitting in that open grass, and then the quarterback just tossing him the ball because there was no one around him. San Juan on that side playing a little deeper zone, just able to find the holes. And that's the problem with the zone, especially in these type of situations. You see this a lot in college football when they drop back in their cover 3s. You just have a lot of open grass.
All right, so a big 3rd down. It's 3rd down and 9. Emery inside the San Juan 35 now as Gilbert will roll out. Trying to spread out the San Juan D, but he throws an interception as Jake Ivins steps up to pick it off at the 30, and the Broncos have it back. Wow, Emery was moving it down the field, but the Broncos say no thank you as Jake Ivins steps up and gets an interception.
Yeah, Jake had a beat on that ball from the time the quarterback lined it up. He was reading his eyes, steps right in front of it, and if he wouldn't have had his arm grabbed by that defender, he probably picks up another 20, 30 yards here. But just exactly, this is why you call those timeouts, because now you got your team 45 seconds. You pick up a big interception, and now you go out and you see what you can do for 45 seconds here with your offensive unit.
That is the first interception, believe it or not, for Jake Ivins this season. And so we'll see what the Broncos can do with 45 seconds. Starting from just outside their own 30. Jayton Knight floats it up to Jagger Neves, and he's got 3 men ahead of him blocking on a little receiver or screen. And Jagger Neves makes a cut. He's going to go inside the 10, 5, touchdown. It is a 67-yard touchdown pass to Jagger Neves.
How much time did I say was on the clock when that drive started?
Yeah,
35?
45, so 15 seconds.
and perfect execution on that. Emery brought the pressure, and San Juan gets Jagger out there. And what a good job by those 3 offensive linemen getting out there and making big blocks down the field. There was no one that was going to touch Jagger with those big guys running down the field. And a great job by those receivers down there blocking out too.
Jagger Neves is out of control again. 4 touchdowns tonight for Jayton Knight. 107 yards in his last 2 passes, both of them touchdowns. Trip Palmer adds the extra point, and it's a 48-14 lead now for San Juan, who are starting to run away with it. They've already scored now their average points on the per game on the season, and that is a 34-point lead. So they're not set up for a running clock yet to start the second half, and it's not likely going to happen until maybe in the second half if they can add some points. But so now that Trip Palmer PAT miss off the upright looms a little bit large as far as how it'll start out in the second half. But the Broncos will get the ball to start the third quarter.
I think this has been a great half so far. There's been a lot of adversity thrown at the Broncos. They've had to battle through some stuff. They've had to not have the lead to start the game with. They've had to battle back from a deficit, and they've had to show some tenacity out here, and this is exactly what you want out of your team in Week 6. Now, you can clean up some of the mistakes, but you want this tenacity.
Yep. As Jayton Knight kicks it away again, and here comes a return from Adams again, excuse me. This time the Broncos cover him well. He'll only get out across the 20 to the 22. So now with 22, speaking of, seconds left in this first half, we'll see what Coach Famalo draws up here for his offense. He's sending Trevin Gilbert out on the field with a play.
Cole Duke and Nash Young doing a great job on that kickoff right there, staying home and breaking down. One of the things we've seen on the kickoffs to this point in this game is overrunning those kickoff returns and not breaking down and making the guy, you want to break down, chop your feet, make him go east and west, not north and south. And great job by those two doing that time.
I'll tell you what, man, this game tonight has been fast and furious. Not a whole lot of time to breathe here in this first half, as I'm surprised they go up the middle on the ground here on first down with 20 seconds left in the half. That may be the last play, a 3-yard run from Jackson Johnson.
Trying to catch a defense. They knew they were dropping back into cover 3, even maybe cover 4. I wasn't paying attention, but I know that Coach Byron likes that deep thirds. And so trying to catch a defense sleeping, don't want to give them anything on a pick or anything. So you just run the ball out there. Great tackle by Jagger.
And that's it for the first half. And, boy, after trailing 14-7, they trailed 7-0. Jagger Neves ran the San Juan's opening kickoff back all the way for a touchdown, make it 7-7. Emery took the lead on their first actual second offensive touchdown of the game, I guess. They had a big return on the opening kick of the first half and ended up punching it in on a 5-yard pass. Emery took a 14-7 lead, but since then it was all Broncos, making it 48-14 at the half. So we'll take a break. We'll come back up with some first half stats. Stay with us. Live from Emery High School in Castledale. It's Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Looking to buy, sell, or refinance your home or property? Ask for the professionals at Anderson Oliver Title Insurance Agency. Anderson Oliver Title has provided title insurance and real estate closing services in San Juan and Grand Counties for 25 years. Anderson Oliver Title isn't just another out-of-town company. It's the only locally owned and operated title company in southeastern Utah. The owners and employees at Anderson Oliver Title are excited to support our communities and are proud to support high school athletics and activities.
Monson's Quality Meat Processing and Blanding provides processing for both wild and domestic animals. They also carry USDA choice steaks, ground beef, and 14 unique flavors of handmade bratwurst. Monson specializes in friendly service, the highest quality products, and flexible timing, all at a competitive price. That's Monson's Quality Meat Processing at 885 East Pinion Ridge Road in Blanding. Call 435-459-1401 or find them on Facebook.
Utah is our home, unique in its strengths and struggles. And sadly, suicide in Utah is one of our greatest challenges. So people across the state are coming together to answer the call, to change our culture around suicide and mental health, to give hope and provide genuine help. Together, we can get through, lift up, look ahead, and live on. Learn how you can reach out at liveonutah.org.
No matter what you've got planned for the weekend, a home makeover, a landscaping project, a backyard barbecue, your neighbors at Red's Ace Hardware in Blanding have what you need. You'll find great buys on paint, tools, and yard and garden supplies, not to mention grills, patio furniture, and pool care essentials. We carry top brands like Clark & Kensington, Craftsman, Scotts & Weber, and our helpful associates can answer all your questions. For national brands and local expertise, you can always count on Red's Ace Hardware.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Desert Rivers Credit Union is proud to team up with the communities in our corner of the state. A nationwide network of ATMs and branches, full line of mortgage products, local decision-making, low fees, and great rates for every credit score are just a few of the things we bring to the team. And to top it off, we are for people, not profit. Come by and meet our team at one of our 4 branch locations or visit desertriverscu.com. We love our communities and are proud to support our
Here at Utah Navajo Health System, our mission statement is we exist to improve your quality of life through comprehensive, self-empowered, culturally sensitive, and amazing customer service.
TaylorMade Wooden Heritage is the Four Corners source for high-quality, beautiful, and long-lasting custom residential and commercial cabinetry for over 50 years. TaylorMade Monuments designs custom monuments and headstones crafted with care and artistry to honor your loved ones for generations. TaylorMade is family-owned and operated and offers competitive pricing. Call them today for a free quote. 435-678-2523. TaylorMade Wooden Heritage and TaylorMade Monuments, proud sponsors of San Juan High School sports.
San Juan County Adult Education empowers students to gain the technical, business, or college skills necessary to enter the workforce. At San Juan County Adult Education, adult learners are given the opportunity to reach their personal, educational, and career goals. Students can earn a high school diploma, obtain a GED, increase their wage earning potential, and decrease barriers to self-reliance. To learn more, visit any USU Learning Center in San Juan County or email Gina Grover at jgrover@sjsd.org.
Compared to the vocational schools of the past, today's career and technical education courses span nearly every industry, including health science, business, digital arts, and computer science. CTE students learn valuable, real-world technical skills with a solid academic foundation while exploring career options or pursuing their passions. Did you know San Juan School District offers 19 CTE pathways for secondary students? To learn more, talk to a school counselor or CTE teacher today.
Lee Collision Repair and Restoration is the place for top quality auto body and glass service in the Blanding area. They're now open and operating at their location on North Grayson Parkway. Stop by or give Jackson a call today at 435-485-0069. Lee Collision Repair and Restoration is a proud sponsor of local high school sports.
The San Juan Credit Union, providing exceptional financial products in southeastern Utah for over 60 years, is proud to support our local high schools. With branches in Blanding, Monticello, and Bluff, along with an ATM in Montezuma Creek, access to those products is easier than ever. The San Juan Credit Union offers checking and saving accounts, bill pay, a wide array of loans, and much more, all on a full-service website and mobile app. Plus, they're federally insured by the National Credit Union Association. The San Juan Credit Union. Your money, your future, your credit union.
Back live to Emery High School in Castledale, the site of our Friday Night Lights matchup tonight on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. It's Rhett Sifford and Art Adair with you again, and a pretty exciting first half. It was back and forth early on. San Juan actually trailed 14-7, but rattled off 41 straight points to lead 48-14 at the half. We're going to take a quick look at the first half stats and started off with the hometown Emery Spartans, and after throwing 2 first-quarter touchdowns, Trevin Gilbert had a pretty tough rest of his second half, or first half, I should say. He ended up 15. That's incorrect. I don't know where I got this. Let's see. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bear with me, folks. I've got to do some adding. 9. So he's only 10 of 18. 10 of 18 for 115 yards with the 2 passing touchdowns. And he did throw the pick there, so I didn't mark that down, in fact. And so that's an interception, so he's actually probably 10 of 19. And again, if you haven't figured it out, these stats are completely unofficial. I had a real tough time keeping up in that first half with the speed, especially at which San Juan's offense moves. But just tallying up, again, unofficial here, but I've got Emery for 0 yards rushing in the first half net. So you've got Jackson Johnson, who carried 6 times for 12 yards. Trevin Gilbert was sacked 9 yards in arrears, and Ty Yost has net negative 3 yards on 4 carries in the first half, and he also fumbled the football one time. Jagger Neves got the fumble recovery. But Yost, I'm going to guess, was the man who caught that 33-yard touchdown pass. So I'm going to give him 33 yards receiving in the first half. Other receivers for Emery, Hayden Abrams, 26 yards on 5 catches. Deacon Mangum has 2 catches for 11 yards. Porter Herdsman, 3 catches for 47 yards. For the San Juan Broncos, I don't know how many of you heard, but Jayton Knight threw the ball for 309 yards last week, all total. And tonight here in this first half, 307 yards passing. And I didn't tally him up. Let's see, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 of 20 in the first half. Again, 307 yards passing and 2 passing touchdowns. He also carried the ball for 31 yards on 6 rushes. But how about the night so far for Jagger Neves? 3 rushing touchdowns, 7 carries, 84 yards. He had the 90-yard kick return touchdown to start things off for San Juan tonight. Tied the game up at 7. And he also caught a 67-yard touchdown pass late in the half there. He's got 6 catches for 124 yards. So 5 touchdowns from that kid, Jagger Neves, for San Juan in the first half. J.D. Palmer, 6 carries, 35 yards, and a rushing touchdown. And then the actual receivers, Jake Ivins, 7 catches, 98 yards. Javen Montella caught the nice 40-yard touchdown pass from Knight there late in the first half, and a beautiful pass play to the back of the end zone. And Owen Adams, a couple of nice catches for 30 yards. And Branton Bethea has 1 catch for 5 yards. So again, the stats are unofficial, ladies and gentlemen. And I didn't tally up the rushing yards, so I probably should do that. Let's see, 119 yards plus 31 is what, 150 yards rushing for San Juan unofficially in the first half. And so that's a look at the first half stats. We're going to take another real quick break. Then we'll return to Emery High School, and we'll talk about some scores around the area. Stay with us. It is Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Utah State University Blanding can help you earn a highly renowned education close to home. With locations in Blanding, Monticello, Montezuma Creek, and Monument Valley, local students can choose from over 100 degrees and programs and dozens of academic scholarships. Plus, get a head start on your degree now. Earn college credits while you're still in high school with concurrent enrollment through Utah State University. For more information and to apply now, visit blanding.usu.edu.
Looking for a new insurance provider? Call Jeff Nielsen at San Juan Insurance in Blanding. For more than a quarter century, Jeff has offered a full range of insurance products: auto, home, life, health, and more. Give him a call today, 435-678-3223, or pay him a visit at 60 North Main Street in Blanding. San Juan Insurance, over 25 years of experience and just getting started.
Let's talk cancer. Monticello, Utah. If you lived, worked, or attended school in Monticello, Utah from 1941 to 2002 for at least 3 years, you might have a higher cancer risk from uranium tailing exposure. Apply to get a free cancer screening today. One screening could bring peace of mind to you, your friends, and family members, help spread the word, and save a life. Screenings are available for a limited time through San Juan Public Health. Call today, 435-587-3838, or visit sanjuanpublichealth.org to apply.
Back live to Emery High School, Castledale, Utah. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. Rhett Sifford and Art Adair welcoming you back in for the halftime show here this evening as the San Juan Broncos lead the Emery Spartans 48-14. We've got some scores for you from around the area, around the leagues.
Okay, in the 2A, you got Grand County losing to Meeker, Colorado, 27-0. So Grand taking a lump there.
That's homecoming for them tonight.
Yeah.
So
Summit Academy leads ALA 19-14. Judge Memorial is dominating Providence Hall 42-0. Delta over South Sevier, San Juan's next week opponent, 21-14. South Summit leads Layton Christian 21-14. That was a game that a lot of people were looking at to see who would come out on top as a battle in the 2A. Those two teams, a lot of looks at that game, and right now South Summit on top by a touchdown. And then you go to your 8-player, Monticello currently losing to Norwood, Colorado, 18-8. And then just a couple other games that people might be interested in our listening network. Kanab and Beaver both knotted at 7, according to Des News. And that's about all that, we like to follow Beaver. We played Kanab, so I'd like to see that one go down to the wire.
Yeah, I don't have any updates from Colorado tonight other than that Monticello-Norwood game. Obviously, that's happening over in Colorado tonight. We got Whitehorse Whitehorse is visiting Dolores tonight. So that game is underway. No update on that one. I don't have anything else going on in Colorado right now. We do have some scores from earlier today in other sports. The Green River baseball team getting a couple wins today, sweeping Utah Military Academy Hill Field in a doubleheader, 8-1 and then 9-0. And the Whitehorse girls volleyball team improves to 6-2 on the season with a straight sets win over Pinnacle Academy. A little bit of a Region 19 battle, and we passed Pinnacle on their bus on the way down to Whitehorse today, so that's kind of cool. But, yeah, that'll do it, I think, for the scoring updates. There's obviously sports going on all over the place. The teams are back out on the field here tonight. I think that'll do it for the Friday Night Lights pregame show. Excuse me. I'm trying to figure it out. Halftime show. I'm really trying to figure it out here for you, but running into a bit of a wall.
See, it's not just me that runs into those word salads.
Hey, that makes me hungry. You say a word salad? I love it. Makes me want a little bit of a chef salad here tonight. So we're getting set to start this second half. We'll keep it right here, and it'll be the Broncos, much to Emery's chagrin, receiving the opening kick here in the third quarter. The Broncos have a chance to turn this into a running clock if they can score some points, any points on this possession, with the Broncos up 34 points right now. And, boy, I tell you, Art, after falling behind 14-7 early on in this game, the Broncos really showed what they were made of for the rest of that first half.
Yeah, they've done a good job coming out and weathering the storm.
And we'll see how they do here on this, their third return of the night. No, I'm sorry, I guess this is the second return of the night. A little skip, stop, and jump. Flags, no shock. I'm really kind of tired of watching San Juan returns tonight because they're all coming back on penalties, legit or not. I guess that's something maybe if the Broncos review that, they're going to have to take a look at that. But
yeah, you'll have to look at it and see but that's the same ref that was throwing it over here every time on this side.
Yeah.
I just don't know what he doesn't like. If I'm Coach Christian, I'm like, hey, what can we do to be successful out here? What can we do to please you? Because no matter what we do, you're calling blocking the back or holding on every return.
Yeah, it's pretty relentless. I mean, the last time I saw something like it was, I don't know, in Grantsville it was pretty rough too. But at any rate, San Juan's going to start inside their own 15. So the Broncos get another return called back. It's really a miracle that Jagger Neves was allowed to run the ball the full length of the field on their first kick return. Here's a little comeback pattern from the far side, complete for San Juan. Not a whole lot of yardage. In fact, no yardage.
Yeah, Bethea got swallowed up as soon as he caught that pass.
So I'm going to try to keep stats a little bit better in this first or second half. It's tough because,
and I think if you're San Juan, the longevity of the quarter of the drive benefits you. Emery comes out there fresh now after halftime, so you just got to go down and be perfect here.
Nice pattern over here. A little button hook is what I called it back in the day as Javen Montella comes back to the 25. Had to slide down to catch it right at the sticks, and it looks like they'll give him 11 yards and a first down. Nice little pitch and catch for San Juan. 11-yard catch for Javen Montella. Broncos back at it here as Jayton Knight goes to the air again. Wide open on the far side is Jake Ivins, I believe. Makes the catch over there and runs ahead across midfield. This play originating at the 26. So let's say 10, 15. Let's see, where are we at here? 10, 15, or 10, 20. That's a 35-yard pass, I believe. We're going to call it around 35 yards to Jake Ivins. I've got to mark that down here in a sec as they're already back underway, and it's J.D. Palmer rumbling up the middle for 15 yards and a first down. The chains are still not set for that previous first down.
Nope, they weren't able to get down there so quick, and they get down there just about to set them, and we get in the first down.
I can't mark the stats fast enough to keep up with this offense. As Jayton Knight again takes the snap in the shotgun, little inside shuttle pass. Branton Bethea skipping and strafing to his right side, and he's going to bring it down to the 20-yard line. That's a pickup of 6 for San Juan.
And Branton's shiftiness right there made something out of nothing because they had him dead to rights right on that pitch at that little shuffle, and he was able just to maneuver his way through it.
And, boy, this Bronco offense has turned into a juggernaut here since they were trailing early in this game. Jayton Knight will throw a bullet right side, incomplete, bounced off the chest of the intended receiver, thrown a little bit behind him.
Yeah, he wanted to go into Javen there, but Branton was standing there all alone, and to me that's a safer play because it gets you positive yards. You pick up the first down. Branton was all alone out here on the numbers.
Well, the incompletion stops the clock with 10:13 to go in the third quarter. Also keeps it third down. Now Jayton Knight just keeps rumbling ahead. No one wants to tackle him. He'll go all the way down to the Emery 7, first and goal for the Broncos.
Great run there by Jayton. Great power run, too. Exactly what you need out of your quarterback in that third down situation. You need him to will his way past and into positive yardage.
Man, they had him stopped 2 or 3 times, but he just kept going forward. Gets the Broncos a goal-to-go situation. They're going to give it to J.D. Palmer again, try to get him another touchdown. Is that Cash Palmer in there trying to help him to the end zone?
No, it's
Big 66
yep.
Baker. So
Cash was leading the charge.
Baker was ready for another pitch if they needed it.
I think Cutbake was back there like, hey, pitch me the ball.
Yeah, we need to get an interview with that kid and hear what he has to say about running the ball for the first time in his career. No gain on the run, I don't think, that time for J.D. Palmer. And the Broncos will go to the air this time. A little slant pattern into the end zone. Touchdown, San Juan.
Man, if you were throwing the ball to anyone in any situation, Jake Ivins is the kid you want to be throwing that ball to. That kid will go pick that ball anywhere, off the grass, out of the tree. That kid is a ball player, man. And he's tougher nails on the basketball court, too. But he went after that ball. It was a low-thrown ball. Defenders all around. Some kids would have shied away from that, thinking, oh, I'm going to get hit or I don't want to make contact. Man, he's full force, nose down into that thing.
And that is the 7-yard touchdown catch from I'll just erase that. It's number 3, Jake Ivins on the catch. Trip Palmer adds the PAT. Who's this running back like it's his job? That's number 9 back here running as hard as he can to get back to the huddle. Nash Young.
He's on the kickoff team.
That's good stuff. He's sprinted back there. That's what you like to see. But the Broncos, meanwhile, now have a 41-point lead. They make that look easy. You could tell that this Emery defense is worn down. Even just coming out of the locker room from halftime, they had nothing for the San Juan offense on that drive. The Broncos move it down the field with ease and punch it into the end zone, making it 55-14. So we're going to have a running clock situation here for the remainder of the game now. And that did not take very long. Just 1 minute 38 seconds for San Juan. 2 minutes, 38 seconds for the Broncos. And so San Juan set to kick it away again here now after increasing their lead to 41. And if you'd like to make your guess for player of the game, we've already had one tonight. We don't have anything to give away tonight, but it's something you can continue all season long if you like. Just go to the YouTube page at Picture It Palmer and make your guesses. It's going to be a hard one tonight, I think. We got some fun possible choices. We'll have to see how it works out as Abrams tries to return for Emery and doesn't get a whole lot.
A lot better coverage that time.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I think they've had a talking to at halftime about that kick coverage, and they were all over him that time.
Multiple Broncos down there, 5 or 6 of them rallying to the running, not letting him get out, really trying to get him go east and west before they try to jump tackle or leave their feet, really doing a lot better job of corralling and controlling the returner on that play.
Well, let's see what the Emery offense can do here now. Down by 41. They'd have to get back within 21 to stop the running clock. So it's a hard task for sure, especially the way the game's been going of late. As there's a nice little 5-yard run for Jackson Johnson.
Nice tackle by Branton Bethea there to get tie up his ankles, stopping the momentum because he had a head of steam after he got those first 3 yards.
I tell you, for anybody who saw the halftime score tonight, which it has been reported in some circles across the media coverage in the state tonight, and they have no idea. That really doesn't tell the story of what happened in the first half with the Broncos having a battle early on.
First down here.
Yeah, that's a pitch and catch complete to Hayden Abrams. And yeah, it looks like that probably went for about 14 yards.
Best thing for San Juan here in this situation is you're going to come out with your starters again, and there's no, hey, we're going to go one series and get off the field. No, there's no run clock yet, so you're going to have to play the game, and you're going to have to stop them.
And so first down and 10 now for Emery as they're going to try to put together a scoring drive. Jake Ivins, first man to the ball carrier this time, and maybe a yard. That's a very friendly spot over on the far side of the field. They'll give the ball carrier 1 yard. That was Jackson Johnson.
Are we in a running clock?
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
So it is now, yeah, just with the 41-point. That touchdown made it happen.
Yep.
So second down and 8 for for Emery. As the Spartans working from the shotgun, Trevin Gilbert. A little play action in the backfield. Now he throws to the right side. Got a blocker out ahead. Complete to oh boy, big hit over there by LaPalmer. Shoulder to shoulder.
Nice screen pass.
Yeah, that went for a first down, I think. It's going to be an 11-yard catch for number 33. Again, I'm not sure why I don't have number 33 on here. I think he made a couple catches, so I probably sold him short stat-wise. He's a man I knew we would mention tonight. Braxton, I can't remember his last name. Let me try to find it here. Braxton Butler. It's a little bit easier when Emery's on offense to get things written down here. I'll have to wait temporarily. First down at the 40-yard line for the Spartans. And Gilbert throws over the middle, complete. No, I'm sorry, it was not complete. That ball. And a little late extracurricular as Abrams, a little angry, punches the San Juan player, and that'll be a personal foul.
Yeah, and the San Juan player didn't know that ball was incomplete, didn't know it wasn't caught. He was finishing out his tackle. He'd already wrapped him up. And number 3 took offense to that. So hopefully the officials get this right, and it should be a personal foul here against Emery.
Yeah, I guess the only other thing they would think is that he drove the tackle too much, but it's like you said. I mean, I thought it was a catch.
Yeah.
I didn't see the ball until the tackle was actually being made. So from my vantage point, I thought the pass was complete. The refs still have not decided it.
I think it's going to be a personal foul and unnecessary roughness.
Yeah, we get a replay of it here for those viewing on StreamUtah.Live.
That's what it is.
It will go against Emery, so that's going to hurt them, an already hurting team here. That will be a first down and very long now. First down and 25.
And that's just a frustration penalty for that
absolutely.
kid. You're getting dominated on the field. You came out with so much energy in the first quarter. You thought you were going to put it to him, and now you're just getting handled. And just frustration.
Yep. So that pushes them all the way back to their own 25. They need to get to midfield to move the chains. Pretty easy to calculate the yards to go here on that. Now this ball will go off right guard. I believe that was Jackson Johnson carrying again for a couple.
Yep, 22.
Maybe only one on that carry.
Big number 50 in there on the tackle. That's Brad Scow, I believe. If it is, he's back in action. He's been out hurt for a while, so if it's wearing number 50, I think. If it is, good to have him back.
It's a big third down for Emery here. Third and very long as Gilbert throws over the middle. The ref saw his life flash before his eyes there as the play was coming right at him. There were 6 players right there coming right at that guy.
Yeah, he could.
I think he broke the pass up. Honestly,
he could have had a pick in this game.
Yeah,
he could have been our player of the game.
Yeah, that was ugly for him right there. That was an incompletion. I think he was instrumental in that pass not being caught right there. And Emery's going to bring the punter back out.
Yeah, that personal foul against Emery.
Yeah,
2 plays ago. That
deflated
was huge.
him. Deflated
that
him.
was
for
huge
sure.
for them because you got not much in the playbook for 3rd and 25.
Oh, and the punt is blocked. It's deflected, and it'll.
I don't know if it was deflected.
It
or
was.
just
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah. It popped up
Against,
off
his
a
own
hand.
guy?
No, it looked like it was someone stuck their hand up. Maybe we can get a. Here's a replay. I can't tell who it hit.
Can you back that up, Caleb?
It may have been his own player, actually. It's tough to tell who it went off of, but I did see it deflect high in the air. Yeah, he kicks it. There's a couple
right
guys
off
off his own guy's shoulder.
Yeah. That's
So,
one of those that crawls up your backbone if you're the offensive lineman.
Well, that's because the Broncos were driving him backwards into the punter, so that's what you get.
And we've got a hurt player down there.
Yeah, we got a moment, so let me take some time to let you know that Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live is brought to you in part tonight by Four Corners Regional Care Center, a skilled nursing and rehab facility in a caring setting. Jones and DeMille Engineering, shaping the quality of life in the Intermountain West. Napa Motor Parts, get everything you need in Blanding and Monticello. Pick a Stitch Embroidery and Apparel, offering a wide variety of quality customized products. Primary Residential Mortgage, with 30 years of know-how, they'll structure the best deal for you. San Juan Pharmacy, serving San Juan County and supporting local teams for decades. Big thanks to all the sponsors making these broadcasts possible, especially the ones when we travel long distances. We do have an injury timeout on the field with an Emery Spartan down. We'll take a moment to step aside. We'll return to Emery High School where the Broncos lead it 55-14 with just under 5 minutes to go in a running clock third quarter. Stay with us. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Blue Mountain Foods is Monticello's hometown grocer and a proud supporter of our schools and sports teams. Blue Mountain Foods offers a full-service meat department, fresh deli, bakery, curbside pickup, and more. Check BlueMTNFoods.com for weekly specials and online shopping. Blue Mountain Foods is open from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday at 64 West Center Street. Blue Mountain Foods, Monticello's hometown grocer.
And now another flag.
Back live to Emery High School. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. And you may have heard there, we got a couple flags on this play as we get back to action. Immediately when we take a break, of course, the player gets carted off. And we had a run by Jagger Neves, and it may be coming back on a flag. We'll see.
No, there's 2 flags over here, so I don't know if he's going to call offsetting penalties. But obviously, receiver and defensive back on this side of the field were having some issues, and he threw 2 flags. The initial flag,
we're having a discussion.
I know the second flag is on the Emery Spartan because he looked right at him and threw the flag.
Yeah, well, yeah, there have been some extracurricular activities after these plays lately. It's going to be a holding on San Juan, and then a
personal foul.
Personal foul on San Juan, and a personal foul on Emery.
A lot to unpack there.
So probably it's going to go against San Juan on the hold, correct? I think that's what's going to happen. The 2 personal fouls offset, and the Broncos will get caught for the hold. So that'll be a 10-yard penalty. Of course, you got Cutbake up there telling his team to hustle up to the ball, but I'm sorry, Cutbake. They're going to mark it off on you. I know that man wants to run the ball into the end zone at this point. Can you do the play where the center snaps the ball, lets the quarterback touch it, and then Cutbake could take it himself right up the middle?
Can't do that anymore. It used to be called the old.
We're sinners. We're sinners here.
Yes, we used to call it the old. And now you put me on the spot here. I used to tell my kids about that play. We used to run that play all the time.
So that's a play, man. I guess it's not a play
anymore. You can't do it anymore.
Oh, that's really unfortunate. That's unfortunate for those hog mollies in there looking for some points. Yeah, Cutbake was ready to go, but now he's got to walk. He's throwing his hands up like, that's pretty funny. For those of you, well, I guess you don't have a view of it on StreamUtah.Live, but as they're just off the frame. But now they'll step it up to the line of scrimmage. Now I think we get the view going. And it'll be 1st down and 5 ultimately for San Juan here at the 30. So I don't know how to score that, to be honest with you. As Jayton Knight throws complete, but now a fumble. and it'll be recovered by Emery. So first catch of the night for number 13, Corbin Middleton, and he unfortunately put the ball on the turf. And that'll turn it back over to Emery. So I don't know. I think that was going to be a 0-yard catch and then a fumble. So
that was a very strange series of plays right there with the holding, the 2 personal fouls, and now the fumble.
Yeah.
Just are we at Halloween yet? Because that just felt like a Halloween type of series of
full
events.
moon type of play.
Yep.
Well, Emery has the ball, 1st and 10 at their own 29. Again, we're under running clock rules here with San Juan up 55-14. It early on didn't look like that was going to happen tonight. As the Broncos trailed 14-7, I've probably said that enough tonight, but
San Juan brings the house.
Yeah, the Broncos are going to get to the quarterback here. That's a 5-man sack. That's going to be a lot of decimal point sacks going on in there. I don't know how you can score that, but everybody in there. And a big loss for Emery. That's going to go back, let's see, they spotted at the 22, so that's a 6-yard loss ultimately, to a 7-yard loss. And it'll be, did he say 2nd and 10? Yikes. 2nd and more like 17.
Yeah.
So the PA guy, a little optimistic there. But now here's the running back Johnson. Jackson Johnson, the man with 2 last names, right off left guard and picks up a lot of that yardage back, as I think, do the Broncos have some underclassmen in now?
Nice run there for yeah, I see Taryn Bayless out there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're getting some, well, not really underclassmen, but some of the seconds.
JV, yep. That's a 14-yard run for Jackson Johnson. And again, we're down to under 2:40 now left in this third quarter with a running clock. Johnson gets the ball again, and he'll rumble ahead. It's going to be hard to stop some of these guys for Emery, for the San Juan second string, as Johnson rumbles ahead. Pretty good yardage there. Let's see, 5. That's going to be a 10-yard run.
You got Easton Knight in there. He's a sophomore, making the tackle right there, along with Derek White, who's a senior. I mean, so you're just there. I think they're just mixing it up a little bit. You got you got some starters, you got some seconds, trying to get some kids on the field here.
And Emery set to snap the football. Oh, and they're trying to get San Juan to jump offside. I think they may have, unless someone jumped for Emery. It'll be
going to get encroachment
offside,
on the defense.
Yep. And so that'll give them a free 5 yards.
Shout out to Bearskins T-shirts there in Blanding. They heard your remark there, Rhett, about not having anything to give away to the player of the game.
Okay.
And they have stepped up, and they're going to donate a
okay.
beanie or something to our player of the game tonight. So shout out to Bearskins T-shirts there in Blanding for all your apparel need. And they're going to donate to our player of the game tonight.
All right, so now your guess for player of the game is lucrative. You can win something thanks to Bearskins. And dropping back is Gilbert, setting up the screen. But, oh, my goodness, the San Juan defender, number 54, was there already. Easton Knight with the big tackle for loss on the screenplay.
So are we giving something to someone who guesses it, or are we giving it to the player of the game? We usually give the player of the game a hat.
That's true.
We don't have a player of the game. I thought that's what you're talking about.
Well, no, I think it's going to go to who can guess it.
Who can guess it, okay.
That's right. So that's what we announced on the air, so we're going to stick with it. Let's see, that was a negative 2-yard catch by, I didn't see who caught that. Maybe Hayden Abrams. At this point, it doesn't really matter too much. A tackle for loss made by San Juan as Gilbert will drop back in the pocket, throws over the middle. It's complete. And all the way down to the 20-yard line goes Hayden Abrams this time. No question on that one. And so that is a 32-yard pass for Trevin Gilbert.
And a little more talking out of Emery's receiver there as he steps over La Palma. The official comes up and gets in between him and sends him back to his huddle. But, yeah, definitely Emery here. If I'm Coach Bowering and Coach Christian, I'm watching for some chippiness out of this game now. Now that's a little bit more in control. You don't want to get your starters hurt out here in some nonsense action by Emery.
This is probably the final play of the third quarter. 55-14 lead for San Juan. Running clock. Emery driving now near the red zone for San Juan. Passes incomplete. But the clock will run out. That's the end of the third quarter. Indeed, it is a 41-point lead for San Juan as we head to the final frame. Again, it's a running clock situation. 55-14 for the Broncos. We'll return to Emery High School in Castledale for the start of the fourth quarter. Stay with us. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
San Juan Building Supply has offered a full range of building supplies to San Juan County for more than 32 years. From the start of your project to the finish, San Juan Building Supply has high-quality products for all your needs, and they can deliver. Drop by 1050 South Main Street in Blanding, call 678-2000, or visit sjvs.com. San Juan Building Supply, a proud sponsor of our local teams.
Holiday Construction is your one-stop source for gravel, concrete, excavation services, and custom hauling. We've proudly served San Juan County with quality and dedication for over 40 years. Call Holiday Construction today at 435-678-2028. We're proud supporters of high school sports and our community.
Back live to Emery High School in Castledale. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live as we get underway in the fourth quarter. And a handoff from Trevin Gilbert to number 21, Ty Yost, and no gain on the play.
Stetson Black there to meet him in the hole, and San Juan's went back to quite a few of their almost all their starters, if I'm not mistaken. They didn't like how Emery was treating those younger underclassmen, acting like they'd done something, so they're going to say, hey, you want to get it, come earn it.
And a third down and 11 now. They were in the red zone or right there at the 20, but now back at the 21. Gilbert will throw to the end zone, and incomplete. Out ahead of the intended receiver, Hayden Abrams. All the Emery folks would like a penalty there. There was some pushing.
I thought that ref was going to throw it because, Nash did get his arms up, but I don't think he interfered with his momentum or anything. And so that's why I don't think they threw the flag. But, yeah, that was the ref that usually throws that flag.
Yeah, it's really weird.
And so here we go, fourth down.
Yeah, and they'll go for it here, obviously, on the San Juan 21 with a running clock down 55-14. So the Spartans line it up. Trevin Gilbert, the senior quarterback, working from the shotgun. He's got Yost in the backfield next to him on the left. Little pressure, and he's hit as he throws. It's going to be incomplete, knocked away, but flags do fly in the San Juan secondary.
And that's going to be disaster if it's a penalty on San Juan. That gives them a new set of downs.
And I'm guessing that's what it'll be. Probably some sort of defensive hold there in the pattern is my guess.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that call. That's a big time play right there. Fourth down. You don't bail an offense out. Make them earn it. I didn't see it though, so I don't know if it was a good call.
Yeah, we'd have to take a look, but
it'll be a holding.
You just talk like the former coach that you are, Mr. Adair. And, yeah, that will give a free first down to the Spartans and 4 shots at the end zone here. It should be
I don't
first
know. It's going to be.
Oh, no, it'll be just outside the 10. So first down.
Fourth down, yep.
Oh, it is fourth down. Okay,
Yep.
No, it did not give them a first down. Just gives them another shot to move the chains or score here. And seriously, easy to score from this distance.
Yeah, I forgot they had lost that yard, so that was a big play to lose that yard. Quarterback up the middle.
Oh, yeah, this is they line it up in like an I formation, and it's a QB sneak right up the middle. Not much of a sneak. It was more of a QB full team rumble down to the 5. So now it's first and goal. So the penalty bails out the Spartans. And again, the clock continuing to run down now under 10 minutes to go in the game. Emery will have 4 shots from the 5.
Emery is now 1 of 1 on fourth downs.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, they punted so much tonight. This is the first time they've been deep enough to, I guess, warrant them going for it on fourth down. Nice job by the Bronco defense to catch up from Jackson Johnson from behind. They drop him for a loss.
Brad Scow, number 50, who's been out for a couple weeks with injury. He starts over there at nose tackle, and he's able to come off around the center on the far side of the play and then chase that play down from the backside. Good job at following the lead blockers there by Scow.
Impressive.
To just get straight down the line to make that tackle.
It's a big stop. Drops him a yard to the 6. Second down and goal for Emery as the wind picks up a little bit here tonight on top of this booth. Always happens in the fourth quarter for us, Art.
Oh, yeah, it's getting chilly. Good thing we got our coats.
Gilbert back in the shotgun. He's got pressure to deal with. Throws to the corner of the end zone right at the pylon. It knocks the pylon over. Incomplete pass. His man didn't get to the spot.
And again, Brad Scout in the face of the quarterback. He is an animal right here deep in the red zone on the defense. He is not going to be messed with. That kid is getting pressure on the quarterback. He's chasing down the running back from behind. Man, Brad Scout, he has been missed the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, some big plays here in the second half. Again, speaking of, get your guesses in for player of the game.
And let me preface this with, our player of the game isn't always the guy with the most stats. It's the player that shows the most heart sometimes. Maybe he has big plays here and there, but he's the one that we feel deserving to win it. And obviously overwhelmingly, we kind of go with those of you that chime in, and we want to be, we can be bought pretty easily up here. A Reese's Peanut Butter Cup goes a long ways with me. No, but seriously, we're not always going to give it to the guy that maybe scores 4 or 5 touchdowns, because you got to look at the whole game and what goes into it. And there's a lot of moving parts in a football team. There's 11 players out there. So don't be surprised if we don't give it to the guy that maybe scores 4 touchdowns and, rumbles 5, 200 yards or 5, because, that's just not who we are. And we're going to be unorthodox up here, Rhett.
Yeah. Yeah, we are a pretty unorthodox couple, I would say. Maybe I should say team and not use the word couple right there.
Hey, it's okay with me, Rhett.
8-7. I'm getting scared up here now. It's a good thing we're outdoors, my man. 8:17 to go in this game under running clock rules. Somebody called a timeout there, but it must have been Emery. And they're getting set to go on 3rd and goal from the 6. And they'll throw quickly, try to set up a screen over here. The quarterback does complete the pass, but, man, it's a gaggle of Broncos helping to bring down Porter Herdsman for minimal yardage. Maybe even they're going to give him a yard back to the 5. Wow.
Yeah, great job by La Palma of getting off the block there, and he didn't necessarily make the tackle, but he holds the receiver up enough for J.D. and Montella and some of those other guys to get over there and really rally around that tackle. So it's not always about making the tackle. It's about getting there, making the guy stop, make a second move so your team can react.
Well, the Broncos looking for a big stop here for a moral boost, as Emery has had 4 shots from inside the 10, and now they rush the quarterback, and the Broncos will get the stop as J.D. Palmer makes a tackle at the 5. The pass was complete, but J.D. Palmer prevents him from getting in the end zone. Jackson Johnson makes the catch for no gain.
Great solo tackle there by J.D. He's one-on-one. He's a linebacker. Those guys are the physical guys on your team, and he's a wrestler. Wrestled for a state championship last year. The kid's just a stud on the mat, and that shows right there. He's able to just take it down and enforce his will.
That was unreal, and actually 8 shots at the end zone right there in essence for Emery. 8 downs from inside the red zone, and now the Broncos are going to try to bring it the other way as Jagger Neves tries to slip to the outside, somehow makes a man miss, stays on his feet, crawls for a couple yards, then busted ahead for another 2, and he gets, I think, about 7 yards on that little, was that a run or a catch right there?
Yeah. That was a great Jagger putting his hand down the dirt, running back drill 101. Get your hand in the dirt, stay up on your feet, keep your feet moving, work out of the tackle.
And he'll get the handoff again. This time makes a cut at the line of scrimmage. He'll go across the 15, maybe to the 16. That should move the chains. It will. And I think that was Jagger, was it not?
Yes, it was Jagger again.
Yeah.
Just making shifty moves off that right side, getting up between the guard and tackle, just finding enough crease to get the first down.
So 1st and 10 for San Juan now at their own 16. 6:20 to go in this ball game. Who's in at quarterback here?
It's still
It's still Knight. Okay. Yeah. So the Broncos getting the
Neves
starters some work here in the fourth quarter. They do have a running clock, but it's been a bit of a tougher game seemingly to this point.
I would run my varsity the whole game here. Just they need the work. They need the 4 quarters. Running clock, yeah, but it's not that. The score's not to where you're like, oh man, you guys just really put it on them. 55-14, nothing shy, but I'd leave my starters out there too. They need this fourth quarter work.
They're going to play action to J.D. Palmer. Then Knight will throw complete to Neves. He'll get out to the 30, across the 30, and that is a pickup of 10 yards and another first down for San Juan.
And I think that the chippiness that's been going on with Emery when they did put some of those subs in has not lost the effect on the coaching staff over there at San Juan.
Yeah, I've noticed the starters are now back on the field. So, yeah, they're going to maybe try to work one down the field on them again here as Jayton Knight throws complete far side for a quick 4 yards up to the 35. That was Trip Palmer.
A lot of votes coming in for player of the game right now. I'm getting text messages, and that's fine. You can text me. You can comment on the YouTube channel. Typically, we go with the first person that guessed our player of the game gets the prize. So, YouTube time, my text, keep them coming.
And complete pass for Jayton Knight again to Trip Palmer, and he'll get enough for a San Juan first down up to the 47. Clock running to 4:40 to go in the ball game now. Running clock rules with a 55-14 lead for San Juan. After trailing 14-7, San Juan has obviously really dominated since that point, up 55-14 as we get an absolutely stunning moon rising in the east now as Jayton Knight also with a stunning run for 13 yards across midfield into Emery territory.
Yeah, and the one thing that impressed me most about this offense, you talk about all the time, Rhett, we talk about how fast they go, their pace, their movement, but you see 5 big linemen already ready to go at every play. They are so quick to get back to the ball, those linemen.
And Jayton Knight, boy, that was a long RPO in the backfield. He hung on to it for a long time, finally elected to keep it, and he goes for another 12 yards for the Broncos.
Yeah, I think he saw something there late, and he was like, nope, that's mine up the middle. And that's just another testament to those big guys up front. Still late in the fourth quarter, fast offense, high-paced, high momentum, still opening up big 8-yard holes for the quarterback to run through.
And Knight will hand off this time to Jagger Neves, so he passes the baton, and Neves only about 3 yards on his run. And the Broncos have a 2nd down and 7 inside the 30 of Emery now. I think maybe the MO on this drive is to run the whole clock out and punch the ball in to close out the game.
I think this is a statement drive right here now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised because I know Coach Christian's one of the top-notch coaches if he runs it down here and then downs it, but statement drive right here.
And they'll go to Neves again. He technically still wasn't down. He was on top of the defender, but he concedes after a 3-yard run.
Another stop brings up 3rd down.
And sometimes as a coach, you want to run your offense. You want to run some fourth quarter offense when your guys are a little tired, they're a little slowed up, and see how they react. And then you do the noble thing and down it.
Yeah, we'll see how it ends as Jayton Knight, again, RPO. This time they pass complete, and they're not going to down it. They're going to go all the way into the end zone. Touchdown San Juan on a 25-yard pass from Jayton Knight to who else? Jagger Neves.
And when I say noble thing, I don't mean that was disrespectful there because I love that play. I love that little quick toss. I love Jagger giving all he's got in the end zone because at the end of the day, you're here to play football. You're here to score touchdowns, and that's what they're doing.
And I think maybe what you said, what you alluded to when the Broncos did start to try to bring in some of the JV guys and the treatment they got from the Emery folks, I think that brought the starters back out on the field for that drive.
PAT was wide right.
Yeah. So the score will remain 61-14. And, yeah, Coach Christensen has never been one to run up the clock maliciously or run up the score maliciously. But I do think, like you said, that was a statement there after the way some of the Emery players behaved when they brought the JV guys out. And so, yeah, I think that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, a little chippiness right from Emery players, and I think you're exactly right, and I applaud that. You gotta go out there and you gotta make them earn it.
So the Broncos will be set to kick it away here with 2:29 of running clock left. I tell you, I'm still a little enamored by the moon out there.
Yeah.
Sorry to be off subject, but I don't think
awesome.
I've ever seen the detail. Yeah. Like it's almost like I've got a telescope here. Just a few minutes ago, I was just kind of stunned.
And I know that the score has nothing to do with the RPI. They don't. That's not a factor in it. But this is also needs to be a statement game that hey, we're the number one team. And
yeah, that's right. Yeah, so the Broncos, I mean, we knew coming in this was a game where either of these teams would prove who the true number one is. RPI is RPI, but obviously it's performance against each other that matters. And now San Juan closing in on the returner for Emery. I could see his eyes from up here, a little bit of fear as the Broncos are bearing down. That was a new man returning for Emery.
That was a new kicker for the Broncos, too.
Trig Jensen.
Broncos had a lot of their second kickoff
team
out there.
We got the younger fellas out now for both teams, I think. We'll see who's in at quarterback for Emery. Looks like it's going to be that Trig Palmer gentleman who returned it, unless I'm mistaken. Nope, he's in there wearing number 11. Still got Jackson Johnson in there at running back. But, yeah, we've got second stringers in for both teams, I would say now.
Well, you've got a couple of starters in here. You still got Black and McNaughton on the line. Brad Scow back in there at nose.
So we'll see. Jackson Johnson gets the handoff. Here's a nice little tackle by the Broncos, number 18. Tyrion Lee coming in to make that stop after just a 2-yard gain for the starting running back, Jackson Johnson, for Emery.
Tim Christensen just checked in for the Broncos on the defensive line.
As Emery brings it back up to the line of scrimmage. Again, the wind picking up here now. And it's not super pleasant if you're on top of the booth where we are. There's a catch made over here on the near side. And now trying to cut it back up inside is the receiver, number 15 for Emery.
And you got sophomore out here for San Juan, Mike and Keith on the tackle. I was just about to mention his name, and they run the play, and he makes the tackle.
That's awesome. That was enough for a first down for Emery, but again, we're down to just a minute of running clock time left in this game. 61-14 lead. And now the Broncos get into the backfield and stop Johnson for a loss. And it may not even be Johnson. No, it's not. It's number 28 in there now. I believe it's at this point that I kind of stopped keeping stats. You might be able to hear the wind in the mics now. And you got the Emery fans over here getting the I believe that we will win chant going. I love the student section, Art. Student section is always the funnest place to be. It doesn't matter what game you're in or how terrible your team is doing. You can always have a winning cheering section. And here is, I think maybe the chant worked as the JV quarterback runs it all the way downfield. And he didn't make it into the end zone, but Trig Jensen all the way down inside the San Juan 20 to the 17. So he busts a big one on the Broncos, and now 20 seconds left. And they stop the clock here for them to set the chains. Is there going to be a timeout? Yep. There will be. So Emery will call a timeout. They're going to try to get some points up here.
And a good tackle there by San Juan Bronco, Grady Lacey. He's able to make the touchdown-saving tackle. Grady, he's a good little wrestler, too, in his own right. It's a junior out there. So Grady's out there playing a little cleanup time and able to save that tackle. Shout out to my man, Grady Lacey.
There you go.
I like Grady. I coached with his dad for a couple of years in junior high wrestling. Just a stud of a kid.
Well, we do have a timeout on the field. And, again, I think maybe we can go ahead and name our player of the game. So for those of you who got your guesses in, thank you for joining the contest. One of you.
I'll get Caleb to tell me who the winner was over there. And
one of you is going to win something from help me out.
Bearskins T-shirts.
Bearskins T-shirts. I don't know the whole name of their business, but Bearskins T-shirts has offered up the prize tonight. We're going to name Cutler Baker the player of the game today. It was pointed out that, the momentum really started for the Broncos once Cutler Baker ran that 20-yarder after the Jagger Neves fumble. And I'm excited to get Cut Bake up here and ask him what it felt like to run the ball for 20 yards for the San Juan Broncos as they pressure the backup quarterback now, who throws incomplete in the far side. That is going to be the last play of the game unless Emery calls a timeout.
We're getting some stoppage by the white hat for some reason. I don't see a timeout.
Yeah, of course he's going to stop the clock. He's had a great game.
Yeah. But, yeah, again, Cutler, a lot of times you don't see the ins and outs and the workings that go in the trenches. And I'm being a line coach myself, coaching line for, 12, 13 years at different levels. it's an art form down there to be a lineman. And I pay attention to that when they're out there playing. I pay attention to blocking schemes. I watch the holes. I watch how they block downfield. And I just think that Cutler Baker, that quarterback of the line, he did a fantastic job. And so our winner,
Donnie Grondell, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right, is going to win. We don't really know what Bearskins has offered up. Did I read that correctly?
Yeah, I think so. And so, Donnie, if you'll
we don't know what you do.
Do you know?
I guess he just
email pitcher@palmer.com and give us some information, and we'll get you your gift.
So congrats, Donnie, and congrats, Cutler, as they're going to throw for a touchdown on the very last play of the game. Emery called a timeout, and the JV quarterback is going to get a touchdown pass against the San Juan Broncos, and the final score is going to be 61-20 here tonight. Well, they let him. I don't think they'll let him kick the extra point. I think that's it. Time expired, and I think that's the way the ball game ends. 61-20 is the final. I'm going to try to compute some final game stats here. We're going to try to get Cut Bake and Coach Barkley Christensen up here for a post-game interview. They're going to have to climb a lot of stairs to get up here into the cool evening breeze here tonight in Castledale. We'll take a break and we'll return to Emery High School for the post-game show. Again, a 61-20 win for San Juan, who improves to 5-1 on the season. And come back with us for the post-game show. It is the Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Super busy households need super fast internet, and Emery Telecom has just what you need with this special back-to-school offer. Right now, new customers get their first 4 months of Emery Telecom eFiber internet free. No term contracts, free installation, and equipment. Give us a call right now, 270-4021 in San Juan County, 259-8521 in Moab, or visit emerytelecom.com. Emery Telecom, Southeastern Utah's strongest, fastest internet connection.
Hi, my name is Logan Monson. I am the mayor in Blanding. Youth, their families, and the well-being of our community is a big reason that I chose to serve in this capacity. Utah kids report that the #1 reason they choose not to drink is their parents' strong disapproval. Here are 3 strategies that can help keep your child alcohol and drug-free. #1, bonding. Stay close to your kids. #2, boundaries. Set clear rules and expectations. #3, monitoring. Who are your kids with? What are they doing? And when and where are they going? Let's support each other in helping raise strong and capable youth. Having those important no underage drinking conversations are crucial to a child's future success. Let's do this.
Since 2009, Blue Mountain Hospital has set the standard for rural healthcare, bringing excellence in healing, quality care, and inspired staff to San Juan County. We offer the county's only accredited sleep center, compassionate labor and delivery, top-tier emergency care, and flexible dialysis options. At BMH, our comprehensive services are delivered by a passionate team. Visit bmhutah.org to learn more. We can't wait to meet you.
With a changing economy and advancing technology, it's time that marketing and selling of real estate in San Juan County catches up. Four Corners Homes and Property Management is changing the game. Every Four Corners Homes listing includes 3D mapping and virtual tours, professional photos, a digital and global 21st century footprint, and marketing exposure that makes it easy for buyers to find and identify what makes your listing unique. Marketing and exposure sells real estate, and if you want the best, you need Four Corners Homes on your team. Find us at fourcornershomes.net or call 801-404-0058.
Here at Utah Navajo Health System, our mission statement is we exist to improve your quality of life through comprehensive, self-empowered, culturally sensitive, and amazing customer service.
Tailor-Made Wooden Heritage is the Four Corners source for high-quality, beautiful, and long-lasting custom residential and commercial cabinetry for over 50 years. Tailor-Made Monuments designs custom monuments and headstones crafted with care and artistry to honor your loved ones for generations. Tailor-Made is family-owned and operated and offers competitive pricing. Call them today for a free quote. 435-678-2523. Tailor-Made Wooden Heritage and Tailor-Made Monuments, proud sponsors of San Juan High School sports.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back live to Emery High School in Castledale. Friday Night Lights postgame show on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. A 60-21 final here tonight as the Broncos trailed 14-7 back in the first quarter, but dominated from that point. And really the last touchdown to make it 61-20. I think I may have said 60-21. 61-20 is the final. And that last touchdown by the Emery JV team, of course, was JV on JV and was one of those kind of tack-on points and tack-on yardage at the end. But let's take a look at the final game stats, and we're just going to go with the San Juan Broncos here tonight. And I don't know what you can say about the night that Jayton Knight and Jagger Neves had tonight. Obviously, it's a team effort. It's a team game. But 410 unofficial yards passing for Jayton Knight tonight. I have him as 27 of 31 with the 4 passing touchdowns. He also carried the ball for 62 yards tonight on 10 rushes. But my goodness, Jagger Neves accounted for 6 of San Juan's touchdowns tonight. Of course, he ran back the first touchdown on the kick return after Emery had opened the scoring 7-0. And that tied the game at 7-all. Then Neves caught 2 touchdown passes tonight, ran in 3 more. And so an incredible night for the junior running back tonight. And they were using him in the slot back position a lot tonight as well. So pretty incredible night. Once again, he had more receiving yards than he had rushing yards. So they really started using him as a utility player, the San Juan offense, or San Juan Broncos. And so pretty impressive. 110 yards rushing for Jagger Neves on 12 carries, 154 yards receiving on 8 catches, and again, the 3 rushing touchdowns and 2 passing touchdowns, or receiving touchdowns, excuse me. J.D. Palmer had a good night as well, 8 carries for 50 yards. For the senior, he had a rushing touchdown. In the receiving game among the actual receivers tonight, Jake Ivins had the best night, 9 catches for 140 yards and a TD. And let's see, Javen Montella caught the other touchdown, a 40-yarder, beautiful pass and catch into the back of the end zone, and Montella was well covered, but the ball was on a dime, and he caught it falling back down to the turf, and he ended up with 51 yards on 2 catches tonight, Javen Montella. Other guys in the mix tonight, Branton Bethea had 3 catches for 11 yards, and let's see, Owen Adams had a couple good catches tonight for 30 yards. Trip Palmer had 1 catch for 4 yards late in the game. And again, these stats are all entirely unofficial. Did have a fumble recovery by Jagger Neves tonight. And Jake Ivins got an interception tonight. The Broncos had a couple takeaways. And since I've got a couple minutes here, I can maybe take a look. The Broncos forced Trevin Gilbert to numerous incompletions, especially in the second quarter. And then again in the second half, not as much, but they really shut him down in the second quarter. You had the Broncos getting a lot of pressure into the backfield, hurrying the quarterback and forcing incomplete passes and also loss of yardage and rushing plays. I'm just going to take a quick glance here, and it looks like Emery had somewhere around 40 yards total rushing tonight. But I'm excited to be joined here tonight by Cutler Baker. He's our player of the game. And Cut Baker, I've been looking forward to this interview here, man. We saw one of the craziest plays that we've ever seen. The ball pops free, Jaggers running it down the field, and suddenly you're running the ball for 20 yards down the field. You got to tell me how you felt, man.
Pretty much. Well, I was like a couple plays before JD, or one of the plays before, JD was kind of struggling, and he wasn't going all the way down, so they told us, go up there and push if he's just kind of stalemating everyone. And I was going up to push Jag and popped it out for me, and when I was running, it was just all tunnel vision. I didn't know what to what to think.
I love it when linemen get a chance to run the ball. It's so rare. I mean, it's almost like it was drawn up. It's almost like he pitched it up to you. The ball never hit the turf. Total fumble, and you were just right on the scene, man.
Yep.
And that's a team effort for you guys. That's the beauty of the San Juan Broncos. It's a whole team effort.
Yep.
Well, tell me then, I saw you down here, telling your guys, hey, let's get up and go. We had a penalty against the Broncos here, and you're wanting them to go, and then eventually they had to mark off the penalty. Tell me what your thoughts were on that play. You just were ready to go.
We started out kind of flat, and we just got to shoot out of a canyon. Sorry, I'm tripping over words, but we got to shoot out of a cannon. And there's nothing we can do about any of the calls we got, but yeah, just trying to keep everyone up and keep them going.
So how do you maintain focus? Maybe if the officiating is not going the way you feel it should, or if the game is not going the way you should, how do you maintain your focus, keep that winning attitude, and just keep playing your game?
Just kind of know what we can do. I guess simple answer. Know what our capabilities are and just keep going.
So, we say this all the time. Games are won and lost on the line. You guys are battling in the trenches. It's hard. It was physical out there tonight. Both you teams, especially early on in the game when the score was going back and forth. It was a battle. Tell me what it's like down there in the trenches on the line, offensive and defense for you guys.
I guess I don't know. It's just watching film's a big part, but then once you get to the game, it's just being nasty and just firing out and just being the bigger dog and going after them.
How do you win your battles on the line? Is it just sheer strength, or do you have techniques or different things?
There's a lot of strength, technique, and like I said, being nasty, tough, and just never getting down, never being down on yourself for a play that happened a while ago. Just keep going.
Are you guys saying stuff across the line to your opponent throughout the night?
Not really. Tonight they weren't too much talkative, except there was a couple times, I guess, I don't know, one of their ends was swinging on Remy and Cash, and that's when they just kind of stopped talking. After we got up at half, and after half they just stopped talking, and yeah.
What's Coach Christensen tell you guys at halftime tonight?
Just fire out of cannon next time. Just don't start so flat, and yeah, pretty much there.
Okay, and did you guys feel the pressure early on? What were your feelings? Is there ever any fear when you're down and you have to battle back, or is it just all business for you guys?
There's just that little bit of fear, but you got to have that fierceness where you just want to get back at them and just dominate.
Do you like having kids, maybe younger kids or other players, look up to you and you lead from your position?
Yeah, it's really cool having kids, young ones like my brother, and just coming up to me and talking about football. And then when I got on the sideline after that, everyone was just coming up to me and just talking about, you got rushing yards. And I was like, all right.
Yeah, you're going to be in the stat sheet now. It's pretty hilarious. I should talk. I think you got 20 yards on the run, man. I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. Obviously, Max Preps will figure that all out. But
felt like 200. But
how much do you run in practice? I mean, that's got to be child's play for you.
The most we run is screens when we're not, and then we have the conditioning and before. But yeah.
What did your teammates say after you ran that ball when you got back to the sideline?
They're just kind of hyped, and a lot of guys out there, they're just hyping me up and just gassing me up and all that.
Nice. Hey, I'm going to tell you, it's an honor for me to talk to one of the big hog mollies.
Thanks.
One of the guys getting the job done for the Broncos. I mean, you guys don't ever get a lot of credit, but like I say, you guys are where the game is won and lost.
Yep.
There's no glory for you guys except maybe on a night tonight. It's too bad you couldn't have busted that one for a touchdown. That would have been one for the ages.
I was looking for it, and then I felt that guy behind me, so I held on and
cool.
Glad with what I got.
Good play, good game for you guys, good win. Cutbag, thanks for chatting with us, man.
Thank you.
Player of the game, congrats. Little high five. That's what I do to my kids. So thanks, man. All right, that's Cutler Baker. He's our player of the game tonight. We're going to have Coach Christensen sit down. I notice everybody's looking at the bald spot on my head on StreamUtah.Live, so that's awesome. Oh, man. Coach, I tell you, that's a statement drive at the end. It got a little chippy once you started trying to put some JV guys out there, and I don't know, you came out and had to make a statement there at the end, I think, and I don't know, you guys proved tonight that you're the #1 team in the land, I think, in 2A football, and you had to battle from adversity tonight. It was nip and tuck early on. You guys had to battle.
Yeah, and that was the whole purpose, is prove a statement that we are the #1 team. The RPI is kind of a joke, whatever formula they use. I mean, it is still our own fault. We should have been taking care of things early on, with Grantsville, obviously. But, I mean, however, whatever formula they want to use, I just wanted to put it to bed, and I wanted to, we wanted to put a statement win. I didn't love how we came out. We came out way too just like it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I've told you I've been worried about with this group is, every game's got to be hard from the very beginning. You got to work hard and take it. And, I'm glad that we figured that out down the road.
So what was it early on? Was it missed coverage or, just not doing some of the things that you guys had grilled in?
I just feel like it was just like we're so like nonchalant, like this is just going to happen. We're San Juan rolling into town. Everybody look at – and just not playing the game. Like it's just going to someone else is going to make the play or, I can do it. It just we didn't lock in and you got to go play. It's got to be hard. I mean, nobody's going to just roll over for you and say, here you go, San Juan, And so I think just a little bit of that, and that's what's frustrating a little bit as a coach is when you kind of get in the kids' faces and challenge them a little bit, then all of a sudden they step up and they start playing. But I just don't understand why we just don't do that anyway. It's not ever just going to happen.
Well, they're high school kids, Barkley.
They're 8. Some of them are 18. They're adults.
That's true. They are. Well, I think to me the most important thing is how you come back from adversity, whether it's a lost series or a lost game. To me, the most important thing is how you come back after that.
Yeah, and they did, and hopefully we learned a pretty good lesson today that we got to start out against every team on fire. The hard part with coaching a team like this is I truly believe we're the team to beat. We're the best team in 2A. But I think that's the challenge is when you're not looking and you're not chasing something or somebody, it's easy to just come out and get complacent. And I don't been upset way too many times coaching early in my career and just trying to prevent that. But I love the effort they came out with once they picked it up. I mean, they played great. I'm not trying to take anything away from them. I'm just saying little things we can work on.
Well, you talk about the lessons learned, and do you feel it's something they have learned, and maybe from here on moving forward, or will you not know until you see them out on the field again?
I think they did. I think they knew. They all agreed at halftime how flat they came out, and I think I just heard Cutler talking about it a little bit as well. And so I think they know and they understand. And so it's obviously nice to be on the winning side of a lesson, but that's the big thing is we can always just find something to improve on. We never want to be satisfied. So.
Well, we talked to Cutler about it. Obviously, you get to see one of the weirdest plays we've ever seen as he gets to run the ball for you tonight. It's nice to see players who don't normally get glory picking each other up. You got, your star player, Jagger Neves, loses the ball right there. You got a guy right there to pick him up.
That was awesome. Cutler had a smile on his face right after that happened was pretty cool to see. So good heads-up play by him. I wish we wouldn't have fumbled the ball in the first place. We got to have better ball security. But I'm glad Cutler benefited from it.
Well, I know you love, I don't know if you live and die by these guys, but I know you love to experience the joys with them of what they go through. Tell me your feelings after tonight and just as you continue to coach this team.
And I don't want to get mistaken that I'm just mad at them all the time.
No.
I want to push them, and they want to be pushed. They've asked me to do that. So it's obviously fun to come into a place like this against a team that was the #1 seed.
Mm-hmm.
And so – it's always fun when the kids have a big win like this and kids are balling out.
What do you do now on the ride home and then as you prepare this week?
I think Bobby brought his laptop so we can plug in some RPI numbers. He's got the formula figured out, so he actually was spot on when it came out. So if anybody wants an RPI when it goes dark, Bobby's charging $99.99.
I'll need that actually. That's
and he's got it spot on. So we'll kind of plug that in, play with it a little bit. We'll watch this broadcast. We always go back and watch the broadcast on the way home, and then all of a sudden we're home. Me and Bobby don't sleep on the way home. So.
It's unreal. You guys are just, and there's no 7-Eleven pizza for you here tonight, I don't think.
I know. We're gonna.
I've seen some pizzas walking around out here, but yeah. Well, thanks for coming up to the roof and chatting with us, man. It got nice and breezy and cool. Had a beautiful moon rising tonight. Beautiful game, beautiful field. It was a lot of fun tonight. A lot of folks who would see the score maybe don't know the whole story of the game, especially the halftime score. But you guys took it to them after, little adversity tonight. Good win for you.
Yeah, appreciate that. Thank you, guys. Thanks for freezing up here for us.
Yeah, it's our pleasure. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
That's Coach Christensen, Barkley Christensen of the San Juan Broncos. His team winning tonight over the Emery Spartans pretty easily. Ultimately, it was not easy early on, but They end up taking it to them here tonight by the final of 61-20. And again, that final score for Emery was a JV kind of a tack-on touchdown at the end against the San Juan JV defense. And so I think we'll take one more real quick break, and we won't take a break. We'll keep it here as Art steps into the mic, and we'll just offer up some final thoughts on this one tonight and close it out. And Art, that's really fun talking to a lineman. We're probably going to call linemen as our players of the game the rest of the year. They're fun to talk to, man.
Well, it was fun to spotlight him, just randomly.
Yeah, it's really odd that you did that.
Spotlight him, and then he has a great play. And, he plays good all the time. He's just, like we talked about, a lot of times, every level, those linemen go unnoticed. But great job by him. A lot of people out there, supporting that as player of the game.
It was almost fate that he was going to be named player of the game tonight.
But no, so final thoughts here just to get us out of here tonight. I thought overall, and I talked to special team coach down there. I talked to the defensive coordinator for San Juan, both those guys, and they both acknowledged, we came out flat. We had some, and even Coach Banner, he such good coaches. They just take that on. That was my fault. My game plan, I should have stuck with what I wanted. I kind of got out of that a little bit, the comment that was made. And that's just a quality coach that's willing to take that and say, hey, those are my bads. Not those kids did exactly what they were asked to do. But both of them were, we went back and forth, came out flat. But then we kind of figured it out, and we got rolling. And, but when I talked to him, too, I said, hey, I fully support playing those starters all 4 quarters, even in the running clock situation, because you've got to have that 4-quarter experience. You ran into it last year, and you ran into that wall with those kids that hadn't played all 4 quarters, and you need that out of your team at this point in the season. And to me, I'm playing all 4 quarters now. I might not throw the ball as much. I may do a little more, runs, do some of that, but you got to get those kids out there. So kudos to the coaches for getting playing time for those starters. They needed it. Kudos to those kids for keeping their heads in the game, because that game started off, outside of the first game of the year, pretty bad.
Yeah.
But the one thing that's always impressed me, I've said this for probably the last 3.5 years now, Rhett, is the one thing that impresses me about the San Juan football program is no matter what happens on the field, good or bad, they keep their composure for the most part. We've had a couple players that, get a little bit, emotional. But as a team, they just keep going out and, okay, new drive, new play, new drive, new play. Mm-hmm. And they don't dwell on that bad stuff. Like some teams, they'll get out there and they'll just get their head down. They'll start sulking. Oh, man, they just ran this long return back. They scored on the first play. Mm-hmm. We're saying, they're not supposed to do that. These guys just go out and say, okay, you can score 7, we can score 7. And I'm really just always impressed with that attitude out of these kids. And I know that comes from the coaching staff. And, kudos to them for teaching these kids how to just keep it in focus in front of them and just do the things they can do.
Yeah, the Broncos are a team that hasn't had to deal with battling from behind a whole lot these last 3-4 years, and I think that, to me, defines a championship team. How do you come back after you lose that game, or how do you come back after you allow that big touchdown, et cetera, and that's something that the Broncos, like you said, I'm just reiterating what you said, they just excel at that, at coming back.
Yeah. You go back and watch this game film, and those first couple of drives that San Juan had, they weren't blocking, holding the blocks. The receivers weren't outside getting to their blocks and holding those angles, and they weren't being successful in their run game or pass game because of those things. And then once they started going back to the little things, making those right, and those little adjustments they make throughout the game, and the coach is saying, hey, we've got to get to our placement, we've got to get our spacing right, and we've got to move people out of the holes. We don't have to. You saw a lot of times they didn't have to move them far, 6 inches, and some of those kids like Brant Bethea and Jagger were able just to zoop right through the gap.
Yeah.
But it's getting to your place and getting the movement out of your guys, and we saw that the first couple of drives when they stalled, they weren't doing that. And I think sometimes you just got to go back to those basic things as a coach and say, listen, our basic footwork, our basic stance, our basic hand movement, hand placement, and just move people out of the hole, get your butt to the hole so that we can be successful. And then as you saw that, then they really started coming alive and doing San Juan things.
Yeah. All right, well, it's been fun. It got a little breezy and cool up here, but it wouldn't be football without the breezy and the cool. So it was a fun game ultimately. Again, we thought we were going to see pretty much a barn burner, but the Broncos ended up taking it to them tonight, final of 61-20. And South Sevier is coming to town next week for homecoming in Blanding, as the Broncos will head back home. So that'll be the next time we are on the air. I want to say thanks to everybody involved tonight on this broadcast. On the Stream Utah side tonight, it was Caleb Carr and Emma Walker. Thank you guys for all your work, and you're still working over there. I want to say thanks to all the sponsors. We will hit you up one final time by name during the close.
Thanks again to Bearskins.
Yeah, thanks to Bearskins T-shirts for passing out the free gift, and Donnie for winning it. And, thanks to all the listeners and the viewers. You're the reason why we do this, of course. Again, the Broncos win it pretty big tonight over Emery. It'll be homecoming next week with South Sevier in town. Kickoff set for 7, pregame at 6:30 again. And until then, on behalf of Art Adair, I'm Rhett Sifford saying so long from Emery High School in Castledale. We'll see you next Friday right back here. Have a great rest of your weekend, high school sports fans.
Friday Night Lights is a production of Red Rock 92 Sports and StreamUtah.Live. Tonight's broadcast was brought to you by Anderson Oliver Title Insurance Agency, Bradford Tire, San Juan Building Supply, Blue Mountain Foods, Desert Rivers Credit Union, Colleen K's, San Juan School District Adult Education, Primary Residential Mortgage, Energy Fuels, Emery Telcom, Four Corners Homes, San Juan Pharmacy, Utah State University Blanding, Creative Floors, San Juan Counseling, Holiday Construction, Lee Collision Repair and Restoration, Red's Ace Hardware, San Juan Health, Four Corners Regional Care Center, Northern Electric, Dependable Auto Repair, San Juan Insurance, Precision Rehab, Red Mechanical, Flights Gymnastics, San Juan School District CTE Programs, Blue Mountain Hospital, Monson's Quality Meat Processing, Tailor-Made Wooden Heritage and Tailor-Made Monuments, San Juan Public Health, Crowley Construction, Jones and DeMille Engineering, San Juan Mortuary, Napa Motor Parts, Utah Navajo Health System, San Juan Credit Union, and Pick-a-Stitch Embroidery and Apparel. We're the home of live high school sports coverage in southeastern Utah, Classic Hits Radio, Red Rock 92, and StreamUtah.Live.